The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
So, anyway, an old host of the show, Tiny White, maybe a few of you remember him, informed me of a place that just a couple towns over from us called Hollywood Salvage. And this place is awesome. Not only is it just a thrift store, but it also carries props from horror films that were made right here in the state of Massachusetts. And one of the shows that they have is from Joe Hill's Nosferatu, which you could find on Netflix or Shudder. Well, anyway, I took a trip over there, and you should see the shit they got there. If you watch Nosferatu, I started watching it because of this. And the lead character girl, Vic, her jacket is hanging there in the store, ready to be sold. And I am so close to picking this thing up. It's an amazing place. I can't wait to go back, hopefully with a few greenbacks, and bring back something from Nosferatu. And speaking of old hosts, we're going to be rejoined by a blast from the past with Dynamo Mars as he rejoins us for tonight. It's going to be wild. It's going to be woolly. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 475 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau as he fixes his hair. Is it perfect yet? Come on, fluff it up. Get that Pantene shine going for the camera.
It's worth it.
We are also broadcasting from Casa de 50 and the Lair of the Gods. We are once again streaming from 4 locations, and we will be streaming from 5 in just a little bit. As MZ mentioned in the intro, we're going to be joined by old friend of the show, Mr. Dynamo Mars, will be joining us. He had peeped the flick that we're going to be checking out tonight, and he was so adamant about talking with us about it that he wanted to come on and shoot the shit. So Mars will be joining us to talk about the film The Last Matinee from Uruguayan. Is it Uruguayan or Uruguayan? Say it again, MZ?
Argentinian.
No, he's from Uruguay.
Uruguay.
Is that how you say Uruguay? Argentinian? I had no idea. It's so weird.
The film.
Huh?
I said I thought you were talking about the film.
I am. The filmmaker's from Uruguay.
Yeah. But the film's Argentinian.
No, it's not. It's Uruguayan.
Well, fuck me then.
Yeah, exactly. So the Argentinian filmmaker. No. So Uruguayan. I'm just a gringo. As I was asking T-Dog how to say it because she knows how to speak Spanish, and it does sound kind of pretentious when you all of a sudden you're like, you're Uruguayan. You try to do the accent, you have no fucking clue, right?
That was pretty good, Johnny. That was like good. You sounded like the guy. Remember the Stop and Shop commercial?
How's that go? How's that go? Uruguayan. MZ, how's that go when we used to listen to the Spanish channel watching ECW?
Oh, that was on Telemundo.
Yeah, you used to do the thing that used to go blah, 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 Worcester, Boston.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
Que lástima dos chicas en la cocina, you know?
Yeah, makes me look like an asshole, but it's cool. But yeah, so we're talking about the film from Uruguayan director Maxi. I kind of want to. I've seen he says his name is Maxi, but his name is Maximiliano, which I think is a fucking badass name. Maximiliano Contenti, Raven Shadow.
Pretty
Oh.
fucking good. Don't think that didn't fucking,
Think about changing your name.
a Michael Maximilian Shadow.
Maximilians.
Shadow. I'm doing a rebranding.
I think you should. It's about time.
What kind?
9 years,
Yeah.
you know.
You know.
And
That's fine,
also,
well,
I stopped on 5-0 and I didn't talk about the Lair of the Gods, or at least I don't think I did. But there you go, all of us here together. There'll be a fifth soon. Ares is a new father. He adopted or gained a daughter this past weekend.
Yeah, let's say it correctly. A new daughter-in-law. So I'm not raising a new child. I am too old for that.
Not like having proteges and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like when Clark would bring like aliens home for the Kents to raise them. It's like, yeah, here you go, Mom, Pa. Here's fucking plasmatic thing. Call her Supergirl and now raise her. Superboy, Connor Kent. Yeah, there's another rambunctious kid. You're in your fucking late 60s. By the way, watch. You don't feed him on time, he will melt the barn. Yeah, it wasn't like that.
So, MZ, what was the name of that place again that you checked out that Tanya was talking about?
Hollywood Salvage.
And it's
in Westboro.
And it's in Westboro? That's so weird.
For like 7 months, I knew nothing about it. Had I have known about this place, I would have been there opening day. But they have stuff there from TV shows that are shot around here. They're even going to be getting a hold of a couple of Black Panther items from the sequel that was shot here.
Wow.
And yeah, but right now it's primarily horror. And you should see the shit they got in there. They got like these giant stone. I don't think they're actually stone though, but they got these giant stone signs like you would find outside of like business buildings and things like that. Just crazy shit. They got one sign. There was one sign there that they got there for $75. And these are all screen used props. Everything they got in there is screen used. It's either used or it's been shown in the show. And they have this huge sign. It was going for $75. Jerusalem's Lot, which is in one of the episodes of not Salem's Lot, but what the hell is the name of it? Damn it. They got primarily three shows that are shot in this area of
Is it
props.
Castle Rock? Is that the one you're talking about?
And thank you. And so I was like, oh, that looks sweet. That looks so sweet. There's another picture. There's another. They got this framed of a child's drawing of Santa. And this is from Nosferatu, of Santa with a little child. It's a kid's drawing, just hand drawn. But it shows Santa and the child with like these gnarly teeth, like sharp, jagged teeth. It's like really sinister looking. And I was like, I'm like, I want that. And they're like, well, you can't have that. That's not for sale. That's part of the. Let's have Zachary Quinto's jacket that he wears in Nosferatu.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
Zachary Quinto. Yeah.
He's like
It's on Netflix?
He's like one of the leads.
Is he
It's
Nosferatu?
Shutter. It's on Shutter. And I was so
I think it's an AMC show originally, and then Shudder obviously is owned by AMC. So
and it's really cool in there, man. You gotta check this place out. It's in a totally inconspicuous area.
So
You know where
Westboro is pretty inconspicuous.
well, yeah. Like all right, you know where Bernie and Phil's is in Lowe's and Lowe's is
Yeah.
in West.
That was right down the road from the first Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, you know the plaza that's just before. It's like you got to drive into it. It's like a small little strip.
Yeah, there used to be BJ's. I think it's now
Yeah.
what is that? Burlington Co-Factory or
Burlington.
something.
Well, anyway, it's there. It's a tiny. It looks like a tiny little place, but it's big, and they got the stuff they got in there. They got shit in there from, not from Shawshank, but a lot of Shawshank prison signs and shit like that. Awesome stuff.
some shivs.
Yeah, great stuff, man. You got to check it out.
I gotta ask: is it all movie props they sell? Is it a museum? Is it a store? Do they have like just T-shirts? Do they have just like cool merch?
Yeah, they got their own merch, but it's a thrift store. Like the center of the store is a thrift store, and then the outer circumference of that is the movie props. So it's pretty interesting how they got it laid out.
Okay.
There's also a couple of things that you can't buy, you know, like the drawing that was there. I was like, oh, I wanted that.
The cash register. You can't buy that.
No, you can't buy the cash register. You can't buy the that works there. You know.
You can't buy stuff. Yeah.
So is this related to the supply house that's in Worcester? The movie prop supply house?
Oh, I don't know. It might.
Because they also have a showroom that you can buy old props in.
Really?
Wait, where the f- is this?
I don't- Excuse me?
Where's this?
In Worcester.
Perfect. Is it Argentina? Is it? But no, we have a movie supply warehouse in Worcester.
Yeah, you do realize how many movies and shows get filmed in Worcester, right?
He should know
But
because
yeah.
your fucking work gets blocked off all the time.
True, every fucking time. Looking at you, fucking Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
No, actually, it wasn't Bradley Cooper's fault. It was Bobby D's fault. He's like, oh, yeah, you can't cross. I was gonna pack a butts with a double bar. Actually, back in the day, old school. And we're coming back up, and the cops are like, no, Bobby De Niro is shooting a scene here. And I'm like, well, Bobby De Niro ain't fucking paying my fucking salary. Get across, brother. Movie was fucking.
Anyway, Google this shit. When you walk in, there's a video, like a video kiosk that tells you everything about how they get a hold of these items and where their warehouse is. It might be what you're talking
They
about.
steal them.
They steal them. That's exactly.
They go on set and fucking yank them.
But
Say,
because of this, I started watching Nosferatu. I never got around to it. I always wanted to,
Yeah, me
but I
too.
started watching episodes, and it's really good. The lead character, Vic, who is basically this teenage girl who wants to go to art college. She has a jacket, and of course, it's not the one and only jacket. I wouldn't think it is anyway.
It's not the
But
it's not the drive jacket.
No, not the drive jacket. There's nothing on the back, but it's definitely her jacket. And I'm like, shit, I would really like to go in on that.
It's probably. I mean, my guess is there's multiple versions of that jacket that she's worn.
Yeah.
But
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But she has worn this on screen.
that's cool.
I'm sure there's certificates of authenticity and things like that. So, but Yeah, and the Zachary Quinto jacket that he wears in the show, man, he's tiny.
Really?
He's a tiny dude. He's small. Holy shit, I couldn't believe it. He's really thin and
Zachary-
short and everything.
He's 6'1". I just looked him up. It's not
One,
small.
damn.
Yeah.
He's very slender.
He is slender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very, very thin. I mean, I don't expect Spock to be walking around with a pot belly, but
What?
but yeah. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, I'm going to assume that that's not the only jacket that he wore. You know, I'm sure there are many just like it, but this one is theirs.
Okay. We got a little
No jacket.
yeah, Full Metal Jacket reference there. Nice.
But yeah, you guys, you got to check this place out. It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's so crazy that that it's there. What did Tiny buy? He bought a chess set, right, or something like that.
Yeah, he said that he bought a chess set that was played by Sissy Spacek in one episode, in one scene, in one episode.
In
Which is cool.
Castle Rock, right?
Castle Rock, probably. Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
pretty crazy.
The thriving film memorabilia market in Massachusetts.
We got
Hey.
fucking departed stuff over here. A lot of fucking departed stuff.
But it's pretty neat in there. You guys got to check it out. You really do. Might find it pretty interesting.
How much was that jacket, by the way? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Oh, okay.
I know I should have. I really should have. But they got like road signs in there and shit, and just you know, like building signs and stone monument signs and shit like that. Just crazy stuff. Good stuff. They got this one ticket booth. It's a giant, all completely made of wood. Giant fucking ticket booth. The thing has to be at least 10, 11 feet tall. I'm thinking to myself, how the hell do you get that out of here? You know, but and I guess it comes with a giant clown head that fits on top or something. It's crazy.
It's too bad it wasn't a Zoltan machine. Was it Zoltan or Zoltar?
I think it was Zoltan.
Oh. From Big,
That
right?
was
From
Zoltar.
Big, yeah.
I think it might have been Zoltar.
Zoltar, yeah, Zoltar. Yep. It's like one of those.
But it's really awesome.
It's like one of those like Shazam things, right?
Yeah. Or like there was Shazam with N's instead of M's. He was Jin. They had two little kids and
You love gin and
Blind.
juice.
I love gin and juice. Did we use that already? Gin and juice? I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
It's still funny.
By the way, Evil Corny, he says, congratulations, Aries, and may their first child also defeat MZ.
He will. Don't worry.
Yeah, even before,
Well,
like, and by the way, Corny, no pressure. You know, don't put any pressure on them to have children. Jeez.
I did give my kid one thing with the whole grandkids when he announced he was going to get married, is that I don't want to be a grandfather before I turn 50.
Okay.
I cannot be called grandpa in my 40s, so he's got a couple of years.
Grampy.
Well, you might look like grandpa, but you're not legit grandpa yet.
Legit grandpa. What?
I appreciate the support there.
Well, that
May look like an old fuck, but yeah.
Well, that explains the beard.
Explains the beard?
Why he trimmed it last week.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, I knew about that.
Oh, I'm so yeah. It was for the wedding. It takes an important thing for me to take down this magnificent beard.
Wait a second. Time out.
What? Time out. Yes.
Yes. Wolfie, you knew about this?
Yeah. Were you not invited to the wedding?
No, about this. So
Honestly, you probably shouldn't have been invited.
And let's be honest, even if you were, you wouldn't have come
would you have
anyway.
gone? Yeah.
It was out of state.
Oh, it was in Connecticut, right?
Connecticut, yes.
Well, look, I'm. You know what? I'll tell you the truth. I'm glad I didn't go. Two reasons.
I didn't want to go.
Glad you didn't go. Okay, I can't wait. There we go.
One, okay, and probably the more important one of the two, is that the last wedding that I went to that involved our core group ended in divorce. Right, Raven?
Jesus. Wow.
I see myself as a bit of a bad luck charm when it.
We were all there.
Yes.
So why is it your fault?
I just saw it that way.
I love this is how MZ sees himself. He's the
Raven
destroyer of marriages.
You can blame MZ for all your woes now. This is it. He's taking the blame.
Oh, that's a fucking heavy bird, man. He's like that fucking guy in the Crucible. More weight. Who's the guy jeopardized?
I can't wait for the second thing.
That was thank you. That's fucking awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I didn't want to jinx it. and secondly, this was on a Saturday. Let's see, I jerked off 3 times that day. So it wasn't a total loss.
Ravenchild, please, Picard. You can't be the only one.
Oh my God.
3 times. Like, I gotta ask, does like girlfriend Zero even know? Or you like actually I don't even want to fucking know. I don't even know why I'm going down here.
Oh, Johnny. Wait, I got it. It's like in the fucking hotel rooms. He puts the do not disturb sign up. You know, the fucking.
See, I had a different question. My thought was, is on the third time, is it just kind of like a puff of smoke? There's a puff.
By the third time, it's dust.
Yeah.
Sawdust.
But also, to be fair, Aries, there was also capacity limits too, right?
Oh yeah, I mean that was it. It wasn't an intentional shun. There was capacity limits. They didn't know what it was going to be like come the wedding when they were planning all this. So like, it was very. People were being shuffled around throughout the whole thing. So if they could have had the wedding they wanted to, MZ, you would have gotten an invitation.
Well, I'll be honest. At first, I was kind of shocked. It's like, oh, this Aries is all done up nice, and what's that on his face? A smile. What's that all about? I see Raven Shaft and his girl, and I see Mars. What? And what? And what am I doing?
Were you jerking off to our photos?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Absolutely not.
Corny says, was it 2 Transformers? Oh, G1. If the New Japan Pro Wrestling tournament that they have every year is called the G1 Climax, MZ has a different kind of G1 Climax.
I want to get Monster Zero a T-shirt that like says that, and it's just like maybe like Optimus Prime's like trailer, like rig, like big rig.
Yeah, going up.
Kind of symbolic. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an artist. But...
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, well, I'm drawing that.
Anyway, congratulations, Grandpa Aries, and to all the little baby bouncing Aries doing whatever.
They're gonna kick your ass.
Who's gonna kick my ass?
The baby.
It's gonna be like the Van Helsing. They're gonna just keep like every generation is gonna hunt monsters.
Yep, you did have Aries' kid beat you up when he was 4, so.
Yeah,
Wait till
We got proof.
the grandkids are 4, and then they'll come after you.
That's where I'm going after them when they're 2.
They'll still break your hip.
Yeah.
No, you have. You'll be like Vandal Savage. Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna get weird. It's gonna get weird.
Oh man. So it looked Raven Shadow, I gotta say, you look happy for the first time in a while.
It was fucking weird, dude. Yeah. No, I really wish MZ was there, and I wish we had capacity to do that. But it was. I had anxiety. I'll be honest with you.
Of what, seeing people?
Yeah. But no, I mean, just to be out like that, you know what I mean? And, but, wearing the mask at the table, and it was nice, and it was nice. It was very good.
Oh, go ahead, Aries. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I'm going to slide down the river here, Raven Shadow. The most absurd argument I had with him that night was he was arguing with me about the year that I got married. He was insisting I was wrong. And he wouldn't let that one go, even when the missus came over and confirmed I was correct.
Oh yes, I remember. I wasn't invited to that one either.
I hardly knew you at that point.
I think that was before I even knew you, Aries, right?
We might have known each other, but we weren't close.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It was post NCW era.
Oh, okay.
Well, during NCW era.
Oh, Aries didn't know me, and that's why I wasn't invited. Then Aries did know me, and that's why I wasn't.
And that's why you were invited.
Oh, our boy Ghetto Tim is hanging out in the chat room. We're gonna find out some more info about Ghetto Tim appearing on the show a little bit later. But he says free booze. Maybe that's why he was smiling.
How did he?
Open bar.
Wow,
I didn't pay for that.
MZ, like you would have had like one fucking drink. Who are we kidding?
The last time I had an open bar, I was 18, and I got shit faced.
Wait, did your brother's wedding not have an open bar?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. I obviously don't drink, so.
Someone else's wedding. I remember who it is. All I know is I was open bar. I was 18 and I was drinking.
18. How were you drinking at 18?
I don't know. The guy.
Yeah, I guess no one cared.
Hey, it was the 60s. Hey.
The 60s.
For a long time ago, man.
So Raven Chow, you took advantage of that.
People thought I was going to riot. Oh, sorry. I keep on interrupting you.
It's all right.
Go ahead.
Raven Shadow, did you drink out the bar? Like, did they fucking close them down?
I was fucking very well behaved, Aries, and right.
Why are you attacking me?
No. I want you to reinforce it. But no. So it was funny. So we go in there, and we go to the bar, and I have a 20. I'm gonna order, Marion's drink and mine. He's like, no, it's an open bar. I'm like, wait, what? It's an open bar. Really? Okay, it's so in my head is dun 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 dun. The fireworks are going off. I'm like, oh, can you break a 20? And the guy goes, we don't have any cash here. No. I'm like, you're at the bar. You can't break a 20. He said, no. So I'm trying. All I had was 20s on me. So there's a guy next to me who had been part of the wedding party, well-dressed man. And he's like, oh, what do you need? I'm like, I need change for a 20. So you go into his wallet, he's, I'll get you. I got you. Didn't have a change for a 20, but he gives me a $5 bill and says, here you go. Next time you see me, give it back to me. It's kind of like, hey, it's on, So at least I gave the bar like a $5 tip to kind of keep it going. But then I get back to the table, and even like other people were like, they can't break a 20. I'm like, I know, they can't. But
Who goes to a wedding without a fistful of singles? It's like going to a strip club with hundreds.
Because most people don't get married at the fucking Golden Talon or fucking Lamplighter.
Can I tell you, the last 4 weddings I attended had some form of open bar at some point.
Raven Shadow, realistically, with all the times that you went to the bar, you could have just handed the dude a 20 and be like, hey, man, this is going to cover all my trips.
As long as he sees you tip that 20 the first time, you are golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put the $5 down.
The 20, I said.
Why
If
didn't
you had put that 20 in that tip bin, you would have been he would have served you in front of everyone else every time you walked up to that line.
Yeah, he definitely would have. Why didn't you fucking do that? Thinking ahead, man. Come on, use that noodle, Raven Shadow.
The guy gave me 5. The guy gave you 5. So here you go. So fair. So I put a $5 thing down on one, the first 2 beverages, and then I ran to Mary. You know, I knew Mary was there. I was like, "Oh, you come here too?" But she had some singles, so we still perpetuate as we went going. So they were up.
Wolfie, do you realize what you're asking him? This is fills up his tank at $10 a whack.
I know, so I'm amazed he doesn't have a $10 bill on him or a 5.
Yeah, you didn't have a 10 on you?
Well, I have upgraded. I've been doing $20 for like 3 times in a row, and it does save you some stops.
Oh shit. By the way, a few minutes ago, Corny asked MZ, when you went to that open bar, he says, was that during Prohibition?
Oh, ha ha.
Yes.
And Aries, Corny wants to know what your Cash App code is.
I got to get me one of those because I think I'll be rolling in it.
Fucking age joke.
What was I gonna? I was gonna say something else, and I was communicating with Mars, and I lost track. Dr. Chris is hanging out, and he says MZ is bad luck Chuck. And he wanted to know if any of us are going to Boston Comic Con. Are any of you guys going?
No.
Nope.
I've already gone to one super spreader event, so I'm going to hold back for a little while.
The user allotment.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. It was a lot. Yeah, I'm not.
And Dr. Chris also says Legit Grandpa is a movie that needs to be made.
Legit.
Actually, Monster Zero had a video that went viral from the wedding that he referenced.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. You fucking dancing at Raven Shadow's wedding.
Yeah.
It went viral before viral. Well, actually, he does have another video that did go viral, sort of, is the one with, was it Barbara McNulty? The dance video at Rock and Shock. Was that Barbara?
Yeah. Barbara McNulty and Camille Keaton. Yeah. Which you can find on YouTube. And it was recorded by Reverend Scott.
Yeah, before he even knew you, as we found out.
Ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, it is. Any videos come out of the wedding this past weekend?
I don't think anything's been posted yet, but there was rather an impressive dance routine that happened between.
Was it Tiny and?
Yeah.
And Mrs. White.
No, actually, the most impressive dance was between the missus and my son. The mother-son dance. They had a whole routine. I got to see if someone that has the whole thing, and so I can post it because they did a number of movie reference dances throughout the whole thing. Pulp Fiction,
Nice.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I want Pee-wee's Big Advance, where he gets like
Oh yeah,
he gets like a movie deal or a book deal.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul. Yeah. That's fucking funny. That's fucking
But
funny.
the most impressive thing about their dance was that they practiced it over Zoom.
Wow.
because they were so far away. They only had 2 in-person sessions, one of them being the night before. And as Raven Shadow will attest, it was a very entertaining dance.
Oh, it was incredible. Anyone that knows, Wife of War,
Wife
knows,
of War, yes.
yeah, knows, in love with the 70s and film and some of that, the shit that we love, Tim Burton, whatever the fuck. Right when we were watching it, I thought, what did I say to you, Aries? I said,
You kept on, they're gonna do Pulp Fiction. They're gonna do Pulp Fiction. Yeah. You can spot the obvious. Go ahead.
praise me. It was good. They killed it. They killed it. I didn't record it. I was living in the moment.
I actually regret not recording my future daughter-in-law, or my daughter-in-law at the time, because halfway through I look over and the look of shock and amazement on her face was priceless. Because she had no idea this was going to happen.
No idea. Oh, okay.
She knew a dance was going to happen that they needed to practice, but she had no idea the extent of it.
That's amazing. That's really cool. All right.
That will probably go viral.
Yes, that will go viral, definitely. All right, so I think we'll start to wrap this up because we did start a little bit late, and also I think Mars is almost ready to come on, so we're going to head to break in just a few moments. But before we do that, I want to talk quickly about something that's happening this weekend. We are doing our Monsterpiece Theater Movie Club on Sunday. What is that? September 5th? Is that right? Yes. Sunday, September 5th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be talking about the film Wolf Guy, starring Sonny Chiba. Figured we'd do a little in honor of Sonny Chiba and his unfortunate passing. We figured we would do a Sonny Chiba film, and this one is in the wheelhouse, of kind of what we do. So looking forward to that. If you guys want to discuss Wolf Guy with us, if you're a patron supporter, all you got to do is hop into our Discord server at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll have a conversation, all of us. It'll be like doing a film discussion on the show, but it's everyone is involved. It's not just the 4 or soon to be 5 of us. Everyone is involved, and we'll record it, and then we'll put it out there. Which reminds me, I didn't put the last one out, so I'll do that this weekend. But so yeah, it's always been a blast. We have a few people join in typically, and it's a really great conversation. We do it for like an hour, 90 minutes, whatever. So for those folks that are already in the Slayer or above tier, you are invited. If you're not, you are still invited, but you got to go to Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and go ahead, sign up, and get into the correct tier. Get into either the Slayer or above tier, and you will qualify. You'll be able to join us for the Monsterpiece Theater Movie Club.
And Johnny, if memory serves, like we do this like a show, right? So like we have like
got the intro music, we got the outro,
intro.
we do introduce everybody. Yeah, we do it like a show. So basically, it's your opportunity to be part of the show, to join the conversation, to yell at us, to argue with us. Maybe that'll happen one of these days, Aries. Maybe maybe someone will start an argument with one of us. But it's always been a blast. So we're looking forward to doing this. And yeah, we haven't done it in a little bit. But we're going to be doing it this weekend. So that'll be exciting. If you guys are not already signed up to help support us on Patreon, check it out, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And we have, the exclusive episodes on Patreon that we release every month. We have some video content, and then also you can do a Patreon takeover if you're in the Terminator tier. And what that gets you is you get to come on the show and program the show and be a co-host if you so wish. And we were just talking about our next Patreon takeover. I have some of the details. We're still working out a date, but I'll announce that when it's getting a little bit closer. But I'm excited for the next Patreon takeover. And then we're getting close to going back to the first batch of folks. So we're going to be having some people on a second time. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So if you guys haven't checked it out, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. Give it a look. Consider supporting. One of the things I'm actually looking into doing I recently realized that folks can buy a year.
Buy a year.
I'm hearing a little echo. What the fuck, Raven Shadow? What'd you do?
That's nothing.
All right, I just
That wasn't a little echo. That was
that was
big.
a lot. Yeah, it was a big echo. But I'm going to look into this. But the thing that I saw is Patreon is now offering the ability to purchase basically for a year. So instead of doing it monthly, you can do buy a year up front and get a discount. So the cool thing is it doesn't get taken out every month. You don't have to worry about like not having enough or like forgetting about it and then having money taken out. You can pay up front. So I'm looking into how we can set that up. And I think I signed up for it, but you have to like, I think there's a waiting period or something like that. So I'm just waiting to see what's going on with that. But yeah, so there'll be some other options available for folks if you want to sign up and help support. If people don't like the monthly thing, there'll be an annual way of doing it as well. So let's see. Ghetto Tim says hoisting some sticky cheeb to Sonny. Yes, we are. And Marion says, Port Aries, there is no Irish whiskey.
Yeah, I was going to say that people thought I was going to revolt when that was discovered, that no Irish at the bar.
How is there a wedding? I mean, I know you're not in charge of everything, but how is there a wedding with your son with no Irish whiskey at it?
Apparently, I didn't specify that was a necessity.
Oh, okay.
I kind of thought it was understood that I'm there. You need to have Irish whiskey behind the bar. I was a little moody, like when that was first discovered.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There was fucking more Irish at that wedding than in Southie. Okay, it was fucking ridiculous.
So a lot of growers, not showers, then.
We stayed at the table. We just stayed at the table.
Also, Marion says, when we found out it was an open bar, I literally said to Raven Shadow, do not order 6 Schlitzes. Can I get 6? Can I get a Rolling Rock at an open bar? What'd you drink, Raven Shadow?
No. It's a reference to a movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were gonna get the cheap ass shit just because that's what you're so used to getting.
To be fair, the location we were at, there would be no Schlitz on. If they weren't serving Irish whiskey, they were not selling that. No, I got the Sam Abrams.
Sam Abrams, of course. Okay, that's like your go-to when you need something that's like better than Rolling Rock or fucking like Pabst Blue Ribbon.
This is better than Rolling Rock.
Well, it was the Sam Summer, so that goes down nice and smooth.
Yeah, that's a there.
But I don't like the summer. I like regular Sam Abrams and I like winter.
See, really, I hate regular Sam. I forgot that I liked the summer until I got one. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty good. So it calmed me down about the no Jameson because otherwise there would have been nothing I would have drank there.
I got excited.
I would have ran out to the packy and bought a bottle. Like
the summer ale is good, nice citrusy, good flavor. It's not as bitter as original Sam.
Yes,
with notes of piss and vinegar. Jeez, what are you fucking doing? It tastes very good. It's fucking breaking down the taste of beer.
If you try every now and again, you know it's a very good beer. It really is. And the winter lager is good too.
Oh, MZ Ghetto Tim says you need some Fred Sanford Champipple.
Bye, big dummy.
All right, so that's about Patreon. And also, there's a few other ways you can help support the show. Head on over to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it, brings you to Amazon. Input to our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
So you buy shit on Amazon anyways, use our link. We get a cut. It helps. All the money goes to pay for all the things. It's web hosting, podcast hosting, live streaming software that we pay for a subscription for monthly, getting high-speed internet here at the castle to broadcast, everything. There's a lot that goes into it. So If you guys dig what we do, consider supporting. And then the final way you can support us is head to trickortreatradio.com. Look for the store, and in the store we have some digital goods. We got the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. So we've been doing the show for 9+ years. Maybe you haven't been around for all of those episodes. Maybe a few of them, maybe not all of them. But if you guys want to get a little sampler of what we've done over the years, you can get the highlights, the lowlights, the midlights, everything in between, the arguments, the songs, the interviews, Raven Shadow, all that business, right?
So much fucking the shit you just said.
So all that's available. So give it a look and check that out. Those are the ways you can help support us. The other way, this is easy. Fucking share the show. Tell people about it. There's a ton of podcasts out there. The amount of podcasts that have been doing this for 475 consecutive weeks is very minimal. I guarantee you that. So out of the hundreds of thousands of podcasts, we've been doing this every single fucking week without missing a beat for 475 weeks. Let people know about it. There's so many podcasts out there nowadays that it can be hard to get through all the static. So just tell someone about it. Give us a review on social media. Share it on social media. Just shout it from the fucking tops of the buildings, Raven Shadow. Do what you got to do. Go into
grab a stranger on the street and shout it in their face.
Yeah.
I mean
that may not work.
That could be assault, brother. But I think really just do it the 5-star thing. And even if you just don't love us and like us a lot, just fucking lie. You know what I mean? Sometimes,
in this case, that's acceptable. That's the only way. It's the only acceptable way to lie. Is when you're talking to someone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. We need to head to a break, and just to let you guys know, if you guys could all disconnect, because I'm having some mostly with MZ. MZ's getting stomped on when other people talk. That's not typical. So if you guys, when we head to break, before you walk away, if you could please disconnect. This is just for the people on the show. Not yet. I got
my finger.
Not quite yet. But once we head to break, just disconnect, and I'll re-add everybody, and we can start fresh with Mars will be here. So if you guys could do that, and don't walk away before you connect. I want to make sure that you guys can disconnect, and then we'll reconnect, and then you can walk away and go to the bathroom and get a drink or do whatever you got to do. All right. Now, having said that, Raven Shadow, what did you do to prepare to watch a Uruguayan film? The first slasher film from Uruguay, by the way.
Well, first, as much as I was thinking about that, and I believe it's Argentina, Johnny.
No, it's fucking not. God damn it!
It's not what I heard. Maybe it's Uruguay.
I heard it was Vietnamese.
Oh my god,
could be. I'm not sure what it is. But now I have anxiety, Johnny. So when you said everyone has to disconnect, do you mean just those two guys?
God.
Okay, you don't, Raven Shadow. When it comes to technical stuff, you don't have to do anything because I control your computer. Okay.
Okay. So I just want to clarify, just so Coney knows, I don't have to do anything when we go to break.
That's correct. You go to the bathroom, you fix your hair, you smoke your cigarette, you do whatever you got to do. You don't have to do anything.
No, I was going to do all those things in an order that may surprise you, but
you need to hit the disconnect button. It looks like a trick or treat.
No. He doesn't. He
needs to hit the button.
The
it looks like a pillow.
Hit the pillow.
Hit the trick or treat radio pillow. They'll disconnect you.
That's fun. It's like I'm playing along with you.
Let's get the show on the road here, Raven Shadow. Come on.
All right, so now I'm gonna fucking strap on.
Oh, I didn't mean that quick.
Jesus Christ!
I wasn't even ready.
What the fuck?
All right, so we'll be back in how long, MZ?
2 and 2.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the cult of muscle.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh,
Don't say that.
It's like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for
you
greatness.
guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really are. You got a great show.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I could be staying outside a woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me.
Did you say a bouquet of dildos?
right, we are back. Sorry about the delay. I have trying to get everyone's fucking things back. All right, so I think we have everyone. You guys hear me now?
We hear you.
Okay, cool.
Two Aries.
Yeah, I know we
Pair
have
of
two
Aries.
Aries because Raven Shadow somehow disappeared. That's what I was trying to fix. All right, well, before while I kind of work on that, we got Aries in stereo. We are joined now by our good buddy down on Mars. What's up, man?
That second Aries is just me. It was a hard weekend.
So there's three of you then. Jeez.
Yeah, it's not good.
Man, both look alike.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's good. Aries this last weekend gave me the gift that keeps on giving. It's called Open Bar.
Oh, we were just
I thought it was
talking about
chlamydia.
Yeah, it's not good. It wasn't good.
We were just talking about that open bar.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Did you get?
It was a good time.
Did you get Schlitzes?
No, I got rum and coke.
Oh, it's Raven Shadow didn't join because I forgot to. I hit accept and it didn't actually accept. I think he was frozen or something. That's why. Okay. I was like, what
Like
the
Bobby
fuck?
Drake.
Yeah, I couldn't even choose his fucking camera. I was like, what the fuck?
So yeah. So I missed the whole thing, but I just want to say thank you very much, Aries, for letting me be part of your family, and it was great to see. It was great to see my nephew, your son, get married off. There was my favorite part of the wedding. I'm sure Raven Shadow talked about this. Is when Aries didn't walk down the aisle with his wife.
Oh no, that was not mentioned.
Yeah.
Can well, no, I had to fight to walk down behind her.
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
I had said to Raven Shadow, Raven Shadow said, "Does Aries know that is his wife?" And I was just hoping that you would forget it was later.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey-oo.
I'm back. I'm the man behind the mask.
Yeah.
I had Skype problems, Wolfie. I don't even know what happened. I was like fucking Raven Shadow at a Radio Shack. Like, it was a nightmare. I didn't know how to do anything anymore.
Oh, shit. Speaking of Raven Shadow to Radio Shack, maybe after the movie discussion, Raven Shadow, I want to hear about your internet
Oh my fucking god!
escapade. Raven Shadow apparently got new internet.
Nice. I still don't have Raven Shadow's picture. I'm not playing in.
What is I almost said 2x4. Is his 8x10?
No, there's just a circle that says Mister, which I'm assuming means Michael Raven Shadow.
Oh, that picture. I thought you were waiting for him to send you an 8x10 or something. I'm like, why would you want that for a dartboard?
I still haven't got that fucking 8x10, by the way. It's been 7 years.
Do you want it though?
Yeah.
Truly?
Yeah.
Do you want the Giants Don't Die one?
No. We were talking about that the other day. Like, I can't even believe that that's something that happened in my life.
All right, so we're joined by Marsman. We'll catch up with Marsman more as the night continues, but I wanted to start talking about this flick. The Last Matinee is 88 minutes. It is written, it's directed by Maximiliano Contenti, with the initial idea by Maximiliano, and it was written by Manuel Facal. And the film stars Ricardo Islas, Luciano Grasso, Franco Duran, Giulietta Spinelli, Bruno Salvati, Vladimir Naves, and Dana Carigi as Brooke Shields. And then also Patricia Porzio. The synopsis: it's a soaking wet day with rain pouring down, and one of the best things to do is to go seek refuge in a great old cinema. There's just one problem. A murderer is on the loose, and he also has taken refuge there. All right, so Last Matinee. This film is, as I mentioned earlier, is from Uruguay. And Mars, I'm going to cut to you. So you had checked this out, and you were very excited to talk about this film. So just if you would tell folks why you were so anxious to talk about this with us.
Well, first off, I was super disappointed because I clicked on it originally because I thought it was called The Last Manatee. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I live in the ocean.
I got a blare to keep me warm in the water. So that's it, huh?
So this, ladies and gentlemen, see you next week. Or in 6 weeks, 6 years. So this is I said this to you, I think, Wolfie, that I might not be a reliable witness because this film checks a lot of boxes that would kind of make me turn off like my brain a little bit visually and just kind of, ooze into it, whether it was great or not or whatever else. A good example is Paul Anderson's Three Musketeers movie. It's terrible, but I like Musketeers. I like sword fights. I like airships, and I like Mila Jovovich in some state of undress jumping around shooting guns. So, like, all those things, like, I'm just like, ugh. I love neon. I love cinematic rain, downpours. I love movie theaters. And I just love the way this movie looks. And it's no secret that outside of a good Hong Kong film, slashers are probably my movie du jour. So I watched this and I was kind of giving you running commentary as we did it because my expectation, I can't remember the last time there was a great new slasher. Some fun ones. I think Cold Prey was probably the one that checked all the boxes.
Yep.
But as I watched this, the mark of a great written movie for me is when I have kind of a complaint and the complaint explains itself. Because at first I thought this was slow, but then I realized, if he fucking Jason Voorhees everything that he was doing, like, it would be no subterfuge.
Yeah.
So I loved the way this looked. I was entranced. And that's the other thing, right? Like, outside of action movies that we've been getting from guys like John Haynes to a different degree, I guess, like, some of the action adjacent stuff that Refn has done. Usually if we get a great slasher movie, or a slick looking slasher movie, it could be low on gore. But I feel like this movie really had some great gore. I just feel like this film fired on all cylinders. And I think all the characters were great. It reminded me of all my favorite movie-based, cinema-based films, from Demons to even Matinee to even Manatee. As I watched this the whole time, I wished I was watching it with Monster Zero because I felt like, I wanted to turn around and be like, holy shit, that's like that, like this. For instance, one thing the killer I thought looked like and reminded me of the killer from my favorite slasher, Slumber Party Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
I kept checking IMDb to make sure that it wasn't him. I think this is a director I'm going to watch. And for a country that's not known for its horror output, this guy really hit it on all cylinders. Like, every part of this film, every set piece looked different, but looked like it was in the same world. Like, the set design and the projectionist booth, it reminded me of a Guillermo del Toro movie with the earth tones and the like bric-a-brac, and like I felt like I wanted to see what's on that table. Like the lobby where all the lights were turned out, it was just illuminated by neon. Classic Man or Refn, like. And then that outside, like, you don't like see like that type of rainfall anymore. That was super Michael Mann and super beautiful and like just oppressive. And I don't know, like, I haven't got a chance to watch it again since that time, but I haven't stopped thinking of it. What I will say is that this isn't, if I'm elevating this too much, this is not a heady movie or anything else. It is brilliant in its simplicity, I think. And it's kind of like hyper real in a way that, like, to a degree it's preposterous, but if that was going to go down, that would be the way it goes down. And I loved the kid in peril, and I just liked everything. I liked the way that eyeballs don't bounce like that. I gagged about the reveal of what he was eating on his way in.
Yeah.
And that looked different too, right? Like, that looked like a different movie too. Like, that drone shot where he was like driving down the street and stuff like that. That looked like, like a really drab, like Alice, Sweet Alice, or what's the movie with the guy from Invasion of Body Snatchers' daughter dies and he has a 90-minute sex scene? Not Don't Look Now, is that it? Yeah.
Donald.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so, like, I just felt like every single part of this was a puzzle that couldn't have worked, that did. And it's one shortcoming for me. I'm interested to hear what you guys think, is that I think the killer was too real to be, like, really iconic. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't have any, like, complaints about it. Like, he had that Slumber Party Massacre thing where it was one and done. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we'll get the daughter of the eye collector or something like that. But, I thought it was cool.
Or someone else in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
which seemed kind of
right. And it had one of my favorite cinematic kills that involved the movie theater that wasn't made by an Italian man.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll talk about some of the kills because there's some memorable ones. We'll get the hot take portion of the discussion here. So, obviously, no secret, Mars was very anxious about talking about this. So when we get to the verdict, he's going to say trick, of course, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think what you said is this movie was elegant in its simplicity for me. And you're right. Like, if you're box checking, this checks so many fucking boxes for me. As a former projectionist, of course, I fucking love seeing the projection booth. I love seeing them talk about, like, even the way they portrayed it was so good. Like, and I even something so subtle as talking about, when the daughter was taking over the shift for the dad, and she's, they're basically talking about, well, what happens if the film gets stuck and you get it stucks in the projector and it burns. She's like, oh, you take the reels off and you splice it together and all. Like, yeah, I mean, any projectionist has had to gone through that at some point. So, and for me, it was cool that they use that as sort of like almost like a parable, of like, well, that happens so rare. And he was talking about how he has these accidents and how those happen rarely. I just thought it was so well written. And it's such a simple thing, but it was just a very elegant way of introducing that. And I felt like all the characters were introduced so organically. Like, yes, this is people coming to a movie from all walks of life. We have the couple on a date. We have the kids sneaking in. We have the guy, the old man who doesn't want to leave the theater, and the kid who is like, trying to sneak into the horror movie. Like, we have all these different stereotypes of people getting into the theater that I thought was great. And not only does it provide for body count, but it also provides these good stories as a through line to bring you through the film. So I thought that was also really well executed. And I thought that a lot of these kids and the actors were very likable and had, I was even bummed out when some characters died, especially the couple. When that dude finally went and talked to the Brooke Shields girl, I was like cheering him on, and and then what happens to them? It's like, oh fuck, So go ahead, Rave Shadow.
That was definitely a what the fuck, like holy shit.
It makes you care enough to be kind of bummed out by it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought part of that crew, the who was the Uruguayan James Franco and the Uruguayan
Uruguayan. They're not the Ugandan giant.
Argentinian, the South American. No, one dude, the guy with the long hair reminded me of James Franco, and his friend reminded me of the one that was Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
He reminded me of two people. He reminded me of Superbad. And MC Search from Third Base.
It's a fucking deep pull.
Not if you spin the Cactus album 24/7 like I do.
So I think those are my sort of initial hot takes. Is and I, as you mentioned, Mars, like this was so reminiscent of just not only slashers but giallo as well. Like it was like a perfect hybrid of giallo slasher, and and the Rain. Talking about the Rain, it's such a, I'm not going to say subtle thing, because that's that's probably not an easy thing to do, because you have to either find a super fucking rainy night or simulate it somehow. But it reminded me of Blade Runner with the Rain. Like that was sort of like, that's something that I just remember fondly when I think of like Blade Runner. I think of the fucking city and all the rain and Deckard with his jacket and stuff. So that was another cool thing about it. There's other stuff. We'll get to that. But MZ, the resident giallo expert, I want to get your kind of hot take on this.
This felt really genuine. This is a great homage to the giallo subgenre, and it's a lot of the stuff you guys have already covered, between the use of color and the kills, some suspense going on. I mean, the rain. I mean, you guys keep talking about the rain. The rain. There's nothing subtle about that rain.
It was almost like a character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly. And it was done with such force because it's throughout the entire film. It doesn't go away. So that, with that, the intensity is there, right in your face, right off the bat.
Pardon me, MZ, real quick. I think it added another weird layer, the fact that like a portion of the region that we live in right now is underwater.
Yeah, true.
Like, so we're dealing with that sort of rain. So like the cluster raining so bad over the laps that like the seam on one of my button-down shirts tore from like getting so wet and so way down, just getting groceries out of the car. So I'm sorry, Vestron Z.
And I love when a movie like this is being played. I'm always entranced with the posters, the posters for movies, and you see Dario Argento's opera, and you see, I imagine, a Uruguayan RoboCop poster, which is priceless. I gotta have that.
Yeah, but one of his movies. So sorry. You first, Handsome.
Go ahead, Raven Channel. Go ahead. You're just gonna add something.
All right, there's also a Temple of Doom poster.
Yeah. His other genre film was the one that was featured on the stairs. So when they had that whole standoff at the end, like his film was like kind of front and center.
Go ahead, MZ. If I don't know if you were done, but I wanted to cut you off.
Nope. But I mean, you got stuff here from like Lamberto Bava to Scott Spiegel, being referenced in this movie. Of course, Bava's Demons is the obvious go-to here, where you got the different types of characters, and they're all likable characters. And some of them are even fun. Some of the death scenes that are involved with a couple of the characters almost mimic death scene in Demons. And as I was saying, the use of color and the neon, like you were talking about, Mars, and also the at one point when the film is when there's no film playing in the projector, and it's just showing that white screen, and you got the blood coming down onto the projector.
Yeah,
it's showing off different shades of red because of the different layers of blood and everything, and the way it just blares out into the theater. I mean, it's just a very surreal look. There was a lot of care taken into the direction of this movie.
Good word.
Yeah, the person who directed this, Maximiliano Contenti.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe I actually remembered that.
Call him Maxi.
Yeah, Maxi Cunt.
What?
Maxicon. Call him Maxicon for short.
Yeah, we'll call.
Oh, I thought I said.
What do you? Yeah, not me either. Me either. What do you think, MZ? What do you think they call his house?
Yeah, I'm not going there. Actually, you know what? I will. Maxi Pad.
Jesus Christ.
I understood.
And you know, with the different characters, and the person who directed this really did his homework, and it shows, and it pays off. At first I thought there was going to be like a slasher style, not so you know, a giallo as well, but also an American slasher style. And the more I watched it, the more I realized, you know, they're really going for giallo here, not so much slasher, American slasher, because the killer is a real person. He doesn't automatically appear from one place to another. He doesn't walk when he's trying to chase somebody. He actually runs, you know, which is even scarier. You know, he could be taken out. You know, he feels pain, and one specific pain shot. I mean, ooh, that was. I mean, and the gore. You know, and speaking of which, the gore, the violence is it's really good. All practical effects. I don't think there was really any CGI, and it just looked. It was very visceral, and some of it looked awfully painful as well. Very minimal, if anything, to really complain about this movie.
All right, let's go around Raven Shadow. Let's get your hot take.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not the biggest giallo mark on the planet. Definitely not.
You always leave room for giallo, Raven Shadow.
It's true, but I get it. And I mean, from what there was the one we did a few months back that I enjoyed, the Crystal Plumage.
We didn't do that. What are you talking about?
Charlie Brown in the Crystal Plumage.
Yeah. What do? We did the one with the author and the problems that he had.
Problems. Why are you wearing those gloves, Charlie Brown?
The author and the problems.
I believe you guys did Tenebrae.
Yeah, you're talking about Tenebrae?
A Patreon pick.
Yeah, Tenebrae all day. That was good. I enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to Maniac Driver by a good friend and amazing director Karando Mitsutake. So I get it. And there was definitely, it was oozing with giallo, right? Even down to when the marbles or the candy gumdrops, whatever the fuck they were, jawbreakers were falling down the stairs, and the gloves. You know what I mean?
By the way, I just want to comment on that scene. Some of the foreshadowing in this I thought was beautiful. Like, especially that scene with the kid dropping his fucking candy or marbles, whatever it was. Like, when I saw that come back, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, it was just beautiful. It's so so simple, but it was beautiful, and you make that connection. It's like bookends, and it's just so good.
Although I am concerned about where his mother, or at least chaperone, went after that. But even like we were getting ready, we watched it. I'd coming back and taking Ollie out, and the kitchen light was on. And the minute I shut the light off, just the way the lighting in the film popped, you know, the reds and the blacks were really fucking.
From the other room while you were making dinner.
No, we were at 8th inning, but I would say the fan was on. We were working some light issues, but no, I think the build up was good. I love the diversity, and there was definitely those tropes. I mean, you had a lot of one bad girl brunette, which I like a lot.
I knew you were gonna call that out.
So let me just jump in
She was
there.
a bad
So,
girl. Yeah.
I like that. They sit down close to the front row. I'm saying, it wasn't quite an AKHJ, but it wasn't
NKHJ.
Yeah, it wasn't an angry hand job, but we definitely they committed to the job. In this
it also
picture,
wasn't the rub and tug from that movie. What was that one? Spare Parts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right. Wasn't the rub a tug in the rub a dub in the
rub a dub tug? Yeah.
Yeah.
For a lady who's that didn't seem like her first rodeo. Like, I don't know, she wasn't very discreet.
Yeah.
Either was they really committed to the outcome in that scene too. I'm like, wow, they went all in.
Oh yeah.
No pun intended.
And what concerned me was the dude had a jacket, and then he took his shirt.
He did have a jacket,
but he could have covered himself up.
He had a jacket. It wasn't no drive jacket, but he had a jacket. It also wasn't that jacket that MZ almost bought at that fucking memorabilia store, but it was a jacket.
But he might do that to that jacket the way he was talking about.
Should have you done the popcorn trick, Raven Shadow?
I was thinking about that. That's what I would have done.
First time Mike says, evening, everyone. Congratulations, Papa Aries, and hello to my dude, Mars.
How's it going, my man?
Anything to add, Raven Shadow, or should we move over to Aries?
Move over to Aries.
All right, Aries, go ahead.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, this is... yeah.
If everyone else speaks glowingly, Aries is going to be the
I hate these movies. Like not you know, and on two levels. One, I hate when everyone likes the movie and I don't, and I hate fucking Giallo movies. Like, oh God, this movie was exhausting. It really was. This, like, you guys are talking about shit you love, and I fucking hate what you're talking about. I can't even. Like, the rain? Really? You guys are talking about the fucking rain? It is like the so generic rain of every goddamn movie. It is like...
It's Aries, it's a feeling. It's evocative.
But it's not the fucking rain. You're getting a feeling from the movie, not from the fucking rain, because it was some fucking minimum wage jackass with a thumb over a garden hose doing that fucking rain. It was the cheapest goddamn shit I've ever seen in a movie.
No.
Yes. Yes, that was fucking cheap ass shit. Like, I mean, they haven't quite mastered rain in cinema, and that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Because it is either pouring or not. Like, they haven't mastered just rain. And this movie, it is just fucking pouring rain. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So there's nothing unique about that. The sets about this movie were good. I will give this movie that. But a movie needs to be more than sets. And they couldn't make up their mind whether they wanted this to be an oversimplistic movie universe or an ultra realistic movie universe, and they couldn't make up their minds, and that drives me nuts in a movie. Establish your rules and stick to them. This movie did not, and it drives me nuts. Some of the kills were good, some were bad, but that's because they couldn't establish the rules for me.
What rules?
Like I said, they couldn't make up their mind whether this was an ultra simplistic universe or an ultra realistic universe. Those are two different things when it comes to movies. This movie flip-flopped.
All right. Well, can you tell us in terms of scenes, which is simplistic and which is overly realistic?
It's hard to really describe it without, getting into, spoilers and other things with the movie. I'm sorry, and maybe with those rules being broken, that is what, you guys like about a Giallo movie, and that's why I don't like them, because that is some of what I don't like about the Giallo movies I've seen.
I think this leaned more, for my sensibilities, I think this leaned more towards a slasher.
I mean, it is but slashers don't exist in the real world. I mean, you guys are okay. A movie theater, there's one entrance.
Yes. Right. Yes. Yes, Aries.
I mean, that's movie. That's movie world. I mean, you understand. I mean, just little things like that. You can flip flop back and forth throughout this whole movie, whether they're going for movie world or real world.
You're right about that theoretically. I didn't think of that, but I wonder. I don't really know. Not to get all MZ in the tire or anything, but I don't really know the fire codes in Uruguay. Like maybe like in old buildings that haven't been updated, like if you go into the Lucky Dog when it was still there, like for a million years, that I guess only had one. Man, why am I?
Raven Shadow, did you do something? Keep going, Mars.
So, that building only had one exit. So my point is, while you're right, and this might be digging, I don't know. I mean, I'm not finished flashbacks, unknowledgeable about places, but I don't know a lot about that region of the world. So, if that was 100-year-old building, and they didn't have the same sort of fire codes, or the architecture was set up in a way, like some parts of, like, say, Italy and stuff like that, where buildings are almost like, France rather, I think that is, where buildings are almost like on top of each other. It's not impossible that there is only one way in, one way out.
Well, I'm not speaking of fire codes, because obviously different country, different codes,
Mm-hmm.
but a structure of this size, they're not just going to have the main entrance in the front. There is going to be a rear entrance just for service things.
Mm-hmm.
That I cannot believe a building of this size, whether it's a movie theater or whatever else, does not have an entrance in the back for receiving goods.
Mars has an entrance in the back for receiving goods.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even just beyond the main entrance and exit, there is one scene where people are cornered, fearing for their lives, and they're trembling, and until the scene escalates beyond the initial fear, then all of a sudden there's a new way out. I don't want to spoil it, but it's just like,
I don't know that they could have got out that way. I mean,
they did, because two of them did. People exited that way as soon as it was. There were a number of scenes where it was just like people were in the location until it was convenient for them not to be in that location.
So there's one theater, right? And the stairs is to go to the upper level and go past to the projection room. And I don't actually know that there was a way to get into the theater without going up those stairs. But I don't know. I think I don't know the other way you're talking about, I guess. I thought you meant the roof.
No.
I don't want to get too hung up on this, and I know Aries.
Well, that's people are asking me to explain. This is what I was trying to be vague.
So I think the thing
I was having issue with. Yeah.
I think the thing is, we kind of talked about this Mars like in another, in I think it was the Hossman chat or I don't know, maybe it was the Star Wars chat. But anyways, like it's that whole thing where like this is a movie. Like it doesn't need to mirror reality. And I know that they're going for a more realistic killer in this than others. Like it's not Jason, it's not Michael Myers. There's seemingly no supernatural element to this killer. That's why it's more based in reality, like a giallo. But like it's just entertainment, and I understand. Like I think the thing is, we've talked about this with El Goro many times. If you're not engaged, you're going to look for, for things. It's not going to, you're going to say, oh, well, if you're not completely engaged, you're going to pick it apart and find things that not to like about it. And that's normal. That's nothing wrong with that, and I think the thing that we're talking about, just to, to hone in on it, is that it checked these boxes. It was very evocative. It had all these things that we love about other movies that really brought us into the world and engaged us. And so I know you're making fun of The Rain, but for me, that was one of the things that brought me in, that really engaged me in the story. It set a mood, it set an atmosphere, and it set an ambience that really brought me in. And I was like, well, fuck yeah, of course you're going to go to the theater on a rainy fucking day. Things like that, it pulled me in. I would have, a lot of us would have been in the theater that day because of that. So that's kind of the thing,
I would guy a hand job.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, but that's what I'm trying to say is a lot of in this movie, what you guys are talking about that you love is what I hate about movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is my problem with this, because this movie bounced back and forth between trying to be ultra realistic or ultra cinematic, and I don't like that in movies. Pick your world, pick your rules, and stick to them.
Yeah, and that's fair. I don't have that critique about the film, but I mean that's fair. And if you felt that's absolutely valid. I think that there was a lot of really positive things in this. It's not going to work for everyone. And the funny thing is, Double D, he says, I knew Aries was going to hate this movie. He was doing that huffing and puffing motion he usually does when he hates a movie.
I can't help it. I just, sorry.
I wasn't
shut my camera off when people talk.
I wasn't paying attention. I missed it. Double D also says,
I knew he was unhappy.
Yeah. Double D also says, what's up, Dynamo? Good to see you, dude.
I love you, Double D.
All right.
Aries, did the movie immediately lose you when you knew that it was a foreign film?
No. I went into this movie wanting to love this movie because Mars was so excited about this movie. I went in this movie gung-ho wanting to love it. I was so disappointed when I did not like this movie. I knew it was foreign going into it because this was discussed last week. And I don't automatically hate foreign movies, as we've discussed. I do not care for them. I will not seek them out, but I do watch them.
And I think that, and to be fair, to your credit, Aries, I think you've been better about watching subtitled films.
Well, like I said, I don't seek them out because that is not what I look for in a movie. But for the show, I do watch them. I'm not going to come up with some BS excuse as to why I missed a movie whatever week. I will sit down and watch them, and some of them I do enjoy, and I'm happy I enjoyed them.
So I want to get some more, because this movie is dense in terms of references and just in general sort of like feel. So there's some more of that stuff that I want to jump into. Mars, is there anything else about this that really stood out to you?
I was wishing that I was with MZ because, like, for instance, of all the actresses in all the worlds, of all the brunettes, I feel like it wasn't an accident that they said Brooke Shields, because obviously Brooke Shields' first film role was the American Giallo adjacent Alice, Sweet Alice, which again, I felt like, one thing I liked about it and made me laugh, because this movie was so different than Friday the 13th films, but it did do a thing that Friday the 13th films have done for years, not too subtly, is that it was overcast, but that guy brought the storm.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So like, I think that, that's such a that was cool for me. And I liked how the rain looked a little not real because we had of you know, like we were dealing with like almost like something that was, you know, almost like it was fire, right? Like we were dealing with something that was driving people in, like almost like he pressed the button to make it rain like that to keep the people in. And I think that, I mean, the movie this looks the most like, and probably not by intent, probably by, you know, what the theater is, it looks the most like Demons, I think. And because you work there and because my buddy Scott worked in the theater forever, I was actually talking about this with me and Raven Shadow and the lovely maid Miriam were talking about this. She brought up the film Porno and how she enjoyed it a little more because she understood like the theater culture. And there was such a big part of my life of us like running from theater to theater in those tunnels in the movie theater and stuff like that. And like that, all that stuff like was super, super cool to me. I think that as far as references go, I think my favorite was and MZ mentioned it earlier, the blood across the screen, which I think had ended up in a lot of, I mean, it was in Demons. But like, I really liked it. And I do feel like for a guy who's watched as many slashes as I have, good or bad, there was one kill that's super obvious. And it's an iteration of something that's all the way back to Twitch of the Death Nerve and Friday the 13th part 1 and 2. The making out scene. Like, I don't think I've ever quite seen that type of kill delivered in that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, you know, I appreciated that. I do feel some things, not everything has to be a set piece, but I think that one character, and then some characters who were taken care of off screen were a little bit, it felt more budgetary to me, but I guess it also would have been boring if we followed that guy around, surprising everyone and killing them. But, you know, I felt like MC Search, for instance, like I was like, I don't know, like, you know, like they invested enough time for that just to be like a like knockdown, as I would call it in a slasher, you know, like somebody runs right into the slasher and gets taken down right away. But I don't know, I liked all the characters. I was really disappointed when not the bad girl that Raven Shadow's talking about, but kind of the delinquent girl was killed. And one more thing I forgot that I wanted to mention. This is the second movie, totally different. I don't know if you guys talked about Fear Street at all, but like these kids were kids, and this is something that I'm still getting used to in slasher movies, the discomfort of watching like teenagers make out, you know, like in such things like, you know, Fear Street, like, you know, was a weird thing because it didn't look like 45-year-olds at that summer camp. It was kids. So, and the same as this, though, it wasn't as graphic. Like, I felt like the young people in Peril added something to it.
Raven Shadow's messing with a cord because he's having some issues, and we obviously can't troubleshoot on air. So I think that's what the echo is. But go ahead, Mars. I think it's fixed.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm a bit thrown off. Not that he didn't like it. I could have seen it go either way, but like, I'm always fascinated how like people's sensibilities strike in like a different way. Like, you know, like how people's engagement makes them see different things, see the same thing in a different way. I think my favorite thing about cinema is that it's like a Rorschach test in a lot of ways. You know, the best comedies on the market for me are the Fast and Furious movies, and I'm not sure that anyone else is watching them for that reason. You know, like
You sure it's not the Horseshack test?
Yeah, it is the Horseshack test. And he fucking failed that because Jason ran him through. He didn't do very good. Jason and the guy from Return of the Living Dead woke up Jason. It was bad times. But I mean that's cool. And one of the things that's neat about this show, and one of the things that's neat about like this kind of film discussion at all, is that when you respect somebody's opinion, like I respect Aries, their opinion being so 360 degrees different is almost jarring. You know what I mean? Because you want to try to see the movie through that lens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like my rules with the movies.
I know you
and
do.
when a movie doesn't abide by their rules that they establish, that takes me out of a movie. And this movie did that for me. And to address, and to address when you were talking about the kids in this movie. Remember, you're old as fuck now.
I'm very old.
So, a 20-year-old playing a teenager, when you're a teenager, they seem old. A 20-year-old playing a teenager when you're old as fuck, they seem young.
Like Brink Stevens was like 35 years old in Slumber Party Massacre. Not only do I know that by seeing her, I know that by the years and years of probably stalking her. So,
Jesus.
So I mean that was a common play. Like, you know, the movie Hiding Out is hysterical because John Cryer isn't any older than anybody else in that school. But
Maxwell Hauser.
Yeah.
But it works because he fits in, because he blends into the cinematic world.
Yeah, like everyone was 40 years old hiding from the mob in that school. I mean, it got a little better in like the Clueless era and 10 Things I Hate About You and stuff like. But I also think that has to do with what you're talking about. 20-year-olds, you know, looked younger to me. But yeah, no, these are kids. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Like, they might have been older. Like, I was just on a film with a 25-year-old who the whole shoot I was like watching my language and stuff like that because she was playing 17 and I thought she was 17.
Watching your language around a 17-year-old though, like you don't need to do that.
Well, she's just like dressed like a schoolgirl. It was not.
And you were hiding your boner.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what?
No. Yeah.
You're like that kid in this movie with the stain.
Yeah, I was hanging out with a very lovely lady.
I think what happened in this movie is because it was a foreign movie, they don't have the same rules for child actors that they have in this country. So they could act these kids 10, 12 hours a day and not have to worry about educating them.
Yeah, it's probably fair. MZ's there's a documentary called In Search of Darkness, and MZ's friend Greta, I always say her name wrong, Greta. Geretta. Had an interesting point. They say like these Italian films don't make any sense or whatever else, but you know, one thing to always take into consideration, and this doesn't mean you have to like it. I'm not saying that you know devalidates anything that you say, but like there's a cultural difference, right? You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, while some certain elements of Giallo and stuff like that, like some of it's just that they ran out of money and didn't give a fuck, you know? But like some of it is, you know, like cultural things that we don't understand. And, you know, like I'm not claiming that I am on top of all these things for this particular film, but, you know, there is a thing like where, you know, like when you're talking about the blending of reality versus non-reality, you know, that might have been a little smoother to, you know, a cultural, you know, people on the land, you know, watching that movie, like, you know, people who that movie was native on, I guess. But I might be full of shit too, because like, I feel like this was definitely, had a lot of parody to, you know, other international films all the way across the board. So, I don't know.
Our boy
Aries is right. I hate this movie.
Our boy FTM says MC Search and the Prime Minister Pete Nice, third base.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so let's talk about some more stuff. MZ, kills. You're the fucking resident gore master. What did you think of the kills?
Kills were with the exception of one that really sticks out, that kind of mimicked the death scene demons. Kills were pretty good. Rather basic, not completely over the top. It just, I mean, outside of that one kill that I keep on bringing up, the weapon of choice is a simple knife,
A little knife.
Small one too, yeah.
and it's not a kitchen butcher's knife. It's not. It's nothing like that. It's not even a fucking butterfly knife.
This slasher. Was
Can I just say,
for sure.
A paring knife he uses.
That is so, like, you know, joke store knife. Like, that is, you buy it at a joke store for $3.
Yeah.
Like,
it could also be the.
I mean, they weren't even hiding that fact.
But it gets the job done.
It could also be the point is that they were going for something that's not very impressive, you know, because it's not a fucking machete, it's not a huge kitchen knife, and I thought the first throat slit was exceptional. I thought that looked really fucking good.
Yeah.
Just the close up and the slice right across. Like, I was like, holy shit, this almost fooled me into thinking, like, I got, like, kind of, like, creeped out because it looked legit, you know?
Yeah, I think that might have been I think that was CGI, now that I think about it.
I disagree.
No, that was.
I think that was
completely practical. Completely.
Okay. Maybe it was. I'm trying to remember. I remember it, but for some reason I remember it looking.
It was a tightly cropped shot of the neck and, like, the lower jaw, and you could see the knife just go right across slowly. Yeah.
MZ's getting him messed up with Shrek, I think.
Shrek.
But it was like a simple paring knife the guy was basically using, but it gets the job done. You know, he's all about killing. He's all about killing. He's not about killing with a fantastical way of going about it. He's just there to kill, and that's it.
Right.
But there's a little bit of a struggle there too. I mean, like it's been mentioned before, and Mars said this a lot back in the old days. It's gonna sound weird to say it out loud, but it's hard to really kill somebody, right? Like you can't someone knock them out, you know what I mean? Like karate chop, Vulcan nerve grip. I think, yes, it's subtle, you can hide it. And there were some scenes that I struggled with, them like, why would people not see this? But looking back, when I was in a theater, trying to go to the bathroom during fucking Endgame, you know, man, you times. You know what I mean? It's hard to see certain things. I got bad eyes, so maybe you might not see something down in rows. But there was a little bit of suspension of disbelief in the weapon, but I get it. You know, a puncture is a puncture, right? But I can see how it's really.
I like the weapon personally. I liked the choice to go with a small little knife. Like, I just thought that was a good choice in this case. You know, because it was a more realistic view of this sort of film. You know, so I was totally cool with that.
It wouldn't make sense to have the knife from fucking Cobra, right? Who was the guy?
right.
Just a little bit.
Or even the scissors he used to cut his pizza.
It's true. That's true. That knife was smaller than Cobretti's.
Is that Marion's last name? Cobretti?
I also think one thing that I didn't even really think about until Raven Shadow started talking about it is that I feel like certain shit makes you look at it, and I feel like somebody brandishing a machete or something. Like, I feel like there's a functionality to that small knife, and the fact that, you know, if somebody has like an axe or a machete or something, like I feel like my eyes would be drawn to that motion. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think they did some cool subversions in this too, because in Giallo you don't see the guy's face until the end, typically the killer's face, and they actually showed his face early on in this when he showed up in his car and he was eating out of the jar, right? Like, you didn't see his full face, but you got to see some of it, enough more than you would in a normal giallo. And then I would say about 2/3 of the way through the film, you actually do see his face. So it wasn't necessarily obscuring it. And I thought that was kind of a cool subversion, but there was other little twists in his story that I thought paid off even better. Like, what was in the jar? What was he doing to his victims? We didn't know that right away. So there was like these couple little twists that added a nice little sort of like added bonus when it's revealed. So it's almost like, yeah, we're not really obscuring the killer's face, but we are sort of obscuring these other details that we get later on. And I thought that was a nice, it's not really a subversion, but it's a nice sort of turn it on its head just a little bit, of what you would expect.
I mean, even in slashers, like, Freddy being the outlier in this, like, you generally get if you're going to get the face reveal, you'll get it at the end, like the hockey mask knocked off, or Michael Myers, taking his mask off and crying, or whatever other dumb shit happened after the second Halloween. But, yeah, I think that, but I didn't think of that, but I appreciate that as well.
The other thing I wanted to bring up about this is so that the film that they were watching in the theater, and the great thing about this movie is it takes place basically over the course of an entire movie. Like we get to see the movie start and end in this. So maybe the time, I don't know how long the movie that they were showing was. So I don't know if they were trying to like actually time it to be like the same length. So the movie that they show is an actual movie. It's called Frankenstein Day of the Beast from 2011. And it was directed by Ricardo Islas. And Ricardo also was in this movie. He played the killer. So
really?
Yeah. So the director of the movie being played on screen was the killer in the movie, which I thought was really fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I thought that Frankenstein movie was the fucking bee's knees too.
You got to check that out. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, that Frankenstein, to quote my tag team partner, was fucking tearing it up and not giving a fuck.
Running amok, not giving a fuck.
Yeah, whatever that. You can't see me. If you smell what he's cooking. But Raven Shadow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How I'm curious of like if there was like anything, because I know that you like have like not eyes are a thing for you. So was the punchline in the jar a revelation, a negative revelation for you?
Well, I mean, I think, despite having a degenerative condition, I think everyone who has eyes would not want to lose them.
No. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, there are days. I mean, there was a day MZ came to the door naked that I would, sold my eyes for,
it's one
3
thing.
pennies in a Bradish burger. But
Snake Plissken like an eye patch, but you'd want to at least have one. Yeah.
You look good with an eye patch, I think.
Thank you.
So
you should try 2.
Newsflash: Frankenstein Day of the Beast is playing on Tubi.
Holy fuck!
I know, Monster Zero. You're gonna stay up tonight. You're not going to bed. You're not leaving the show at 11. You're gonna watch that fucking movie.
Yeah. Monster Zero, like the Christopher Columbus of Tubi.
Yeah, Mars is he's the fucking, like, he discovered it and MZ came around like years later and put his fucking flag down.
Yeah.
American Vespucci.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, here, have a blanket, Mars.
What's that, MZ?
Yeah.
I said people are still discovering it to this day.
So there you go. Frankenstein Day of the Beast, the film that was being projected in the theater, is on Tubi. So you guys can check that out. It looked like a really fucking interesting movie. So I'm kind of curious to check that out. But yeah, I thought that was really kind of a cool connection, that because in these things, in this kind of movie, like what they'll do is they'll barely show the screen because they don't have the rights to play a movie, and it's a lot of work to film another movie to project on the screen. But I
a
like
la Demons.
Yeah. But I like the way they went about this and actually had a movie that, that made sense. Now, granted, this movie came out, Frankenstein Day of the Beast came out in 2011, and this film takes place in 1993. But, that I don't think that's not the part that matters. It's, I thought that was a cool thing that they actually did that, and one of the stars of the movie is the actual director of the movie being projected on screen. So.
I will say that it looked like a Nashke movie or a Jess Franco movie. Like, it definitely looked like a late 70s, early 80s horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's in English as well, if I'm not mistaken, because in the film they were showing subtitles, so I think it actually is in English. So.
Yeah, it kind of got like I didn't get so much of a Nachi vibe to it, but so much like a Hammer vibe.
Sure, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I do think that Frankenstein looked like the atomic dog, but
called it.
Judge by the title, font that was used to show the title, it really had a strong Hammer feel to it.
Yeah. There's something else I was going to say about. The other movie I kind of thought of a little bit, just mostly the fact that it took place in a theater, because we're talking about movies that take place in theaters. Popcorn would be another one that comes to mind. That's a real solid movie. So that one kind of came to mind in this, but definitely Demons probably is a little bit more apt.
Oh, very apt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very. It wears its love of demons on its sleeve.
Yeah. And I even liked just the sort of showing, like they showed the theater with reverence and care, like showing the concession and the box office and the projection booth. Like, it's I guess it's almost like projection porn or like cinema porn. Like, it just, I like the way they showed it. And it's one of those things that I miss that experience. Not only because, there's less and less theaters like that, but also because I haven't been to a fucking movie theater in almost 2 years at this point, a year and a half. I miss going to the movies, So it makes me long for these experiences, and that also had an effect on me because, we don't get these kind of experiences right now. Well, I guess you could if you go to the theater, but I'm just not ready yet. And, I know some people have gone and they feel completely comfortable doing so, and that's fine. But I'm just not ready yet. Go ahead, Raven Shadow.
Well, it's funny. It reminded me of when we used to have those special nights in the theater, Johnny, and then we've been before.
Special nights? What are you trying to say?
I'm saying it was nice.
I didn't give any NKHJs out. What the fuck?
You're every Johnny in the world to me.
No, but even aside from those Thursday nights before the fucking movie would drop, we all snuck in various theaters, and I saw your projection booth. It was very green.
Yes, it was.
It was very green. So it was nice. It reminded me from at least a certain level, to have some.
Yeah.
Seriously. And we also snuck through various theaters to maybe see another movie when we had passes for one and we saw two back to back. Maybe that didn't happen.
We saw Deep Blue Sea and Blair Witch. What a fucking contradiction of cinema.
No, wasn't it Deep Blue Sea and Fight Club?
No. I don't think I saw Fight Club in the theater. I could be wrong about that.
I remember one we did. I don't know if we snuck in. I think we paid admission, but we did Face Off and one of the Batman movies. Was it Batman and Robin?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that was the.
And Professor J yelled at being psychopathic, and then he knocked over the foam refresh machine.
Yes.
And that was before Aries and I, because Aries and I saw Batman and Robin with.
Well, it wasn't before you guys, but I just think because I met you guys before I met. Actually, no, I didn't meet you guys before Professor J. You might be right. You might be right, actually. Yeah. Because I met Professor J around 96 or 7, I think, and you guys came into the fold around that same time. So,
97.
yep. So yeah, could be. But yeah, I mean, this film is very. It hits on a lot of sort of emotional high spots. And Aries, I'm actually surprised because I know how much you love seeing movies take place in theaters. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to like the movie, but did you at least like the way that they portrayed the theater, that they showed it?
Like I said, I love the sets of this. I love the stairway leading up into the cinema. It reminded me of the old showcase downtown. Though it wasn't one grand staircase, it was two smaller on the side, but the fact that you rose up into the theater and the screen was in front of you, that was, you don't see that in cinemas nowadays. That kind of brought me back to the cinemas of old. And seeing the projection booth, I did like that because that, they mentioned that it was only 2 projectionists. And when I worked in the theater, there was only 2 projectionists.
Yeah.
One worked the morning, one worked the afternoon. So it was kind of their little joint space and it belonged to them. So it was unique to them. So it was almost like a small apartment. And I did get that feel when they showed that small room.
Yeah. And they had the reel-to-reel projector. I used to do the platter based projectors because I was in a fucking multiplex. So there's like 12 screens. But yeah, it still was cool to see the... What the fuck are you doing, Mars? What's this perspective you're giving us?
No, my iPad case is broken in it. Trying to fix it.
Oh, what the fuck?
I thought we were getting like the dick perspective.
Yeah,
like
geez.
This is what my dick sees. Like
Yeah.
Mars
we already,
POV.
we already got your review for the dick perspective. But
Double D says Deep Blue Sea and Sixth Sense. That was the double feature we saw.
Thank you, D.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Thank
Yep.
Yep.
I think I was there for that one now that you guys say that.
You let us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. There's no statute of limitations, but I think we followed your lead. Yeah.
I love that the statute of limitations is still a thing.
Yeah, like what, 25 years? Is that the statute of limitations?
I don't think Showcase Cinemas is gonna fucking
Showcase.
Showcase Cinema? And is it? And Ravenshaw, is it? What does the statute of limitations look like?
The statute of limitations is it's made of stone.
Is it the statue of lamentations?
It's the statute of laminations.
I hear the lamentations of the movies.
Yeah. For the studio execs.
All right. So, anyone else have anything to add? I know we jumped around a lot and talked about a lot of different things. I want to make sure everyone got their thoughts in before we head to the verdict.
Yeah, I mean, there's a danger in this movie, right, of overselling it, because it is very simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think simple is sometimes better. Like I love a good sort of whodunit or plot that has a lot of threads and they can able to pull it together. That's difficult to do, but also just having a very simple story is very difficult to do because a lot of times it's difficult to follow that thread all the way through to have a compelling payoff, and so yeah, I mean, I think that it is difficult to do. Is it more difficult? No, it's not more difficult to have a simple story than a really convoluted one, but to bring it home, that's still difficult. And I feel that payoff was there, and I loved. I feel like this was I guess I'm getting into verdict territory a little bit, but this was almost like a sort of grimy giallo with the sense of like a smart director. I'm not putting giallo directors down by any sense because I love Argento and I love and Fulci, but I feel it was almost like an art house giallo that wasn't like oh shit, Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, like really into itself. I think that this was a really good looking film. I'm not going to call it an art house film, but it had some of the aesthetics of one, I feel, and also really likable characters, and it pulls it all together in the end. And even these like little foreshadowing bits that we see later on, that parallel sort of like the bookends I talked about with the stairs, that I thought was just beautifully done. And a lot of little things like that I just thought were really, really paid off well. So, all right, well, if that's all there, let's go to the verdict and find out for sure what we think about this.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether The Last Matinee was a trick or a treat. Let's think it's the obvious one here, but let's start off with Dynamo.
So many, like I was almost like overwhelmed by the films that this reminded me of. I mean, there was some of the lighting in the like in between places, like like where the actual projector was, reminded me of the original Maniac.
Yeah.
It's just, this is a great looking film. I think Johnny, and I'm not doing what Johnny was trying to say, but what I took away from what you said is that where you said this was like a smart Giallo, Giallos and Giallo remakes or homages tend to lean into the dream logic a little bit.
Yes.
Where I've always felt like the dream logic, with the exception of Fulci, was that they sort of just ran out of money. You know what I mean? And they kind of, over the years, we've kind of justified some of the holes in plots or some of the other weird stuff by just kind of putting on that dream logic thing. I felt like this, in antithesis to Aries, this did feel like this was this, maybe not the world, but this is the rules in this little prison that was created by, the weather and locking the door, turning it into an island. I think that this was like one of those like pop songs that you marvel at how easy it is until like I'll sit down at my organ and be like, holy shit, like how did anybody actually play this solo and Lay All Your Love on Me by Information Society? Like it just like Raven Shadow and I in discussions often use the term the magic trick, and a lot of the elegance in this and a lot of the craftsmanship in this was sort of disguised by how like simple and streamlined it was. I'm going to misquote this old adage, but it takes anyone can make something that's complex, but it takes a genius to make something simple.
Yeah.
And I just really, despite the fact that I look like Jabba the Hutt right now, I just looked up and saw myself. I really, 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 really like this movie and recommend it. This is my favorite looking movie since Knife Plus Heart, which is a very dreamlike giallo. To be, like in the sense where all the things you were kind of, I think, alluding to, Johnny, like they kind of lead into and stuff like that. And I highly recommend it, but it's a fucking it's like a buffet. It's like the 99 item China buffet for the eyes, for sure. In this movie, I think this movie was more pretty to me than that. This is you ready? I haven't got to do one of these in a long time. This is a treat of the highest regard.
Wow. Look at that. All right. And I think the other absolute on the other side, let's go to Aries next.
Yeah, like I don't think it's any big secret, but I did not like this movie. This movie is a trick. But to try to speak about things I haven't spoke about. The characters in this movie, you guys said you thought all the characters were likable. I did not like many of these characters. There were very few I actually thought were likable characters. Believable to some degree, but not likable. And I thought that was intentionally done. So I was a little shocked that you guys found them likable.
I'm not even sure you like us.
You're distracting. You're with the moving the camera.
I just it's my tripod or whatever you want to call it.
Tripod.
What do you call
it?
He just unzipped his pants. Now he's a
Oh,
tripod.
don't give him that much credit.
Well, no, he's leaning on the floor, so he's kneeling.
Right.
And to try to kind of talk about what you spoke about, where a genius can make a simple movie, it's easy to make it complex. I'm paraphrasing. I don't necessarily think that's true. In the words you spoke, mainly because if you make a very complex movie, it's easy to forgive small mistakes. But if you make a very simple movie, it needs to be near perfect because those small mistakes are going to stand out. And this being a simple movie, the small mistakes stand out to me. And that is why this is a trick for me, because of all the little problems with this movie. So that is all I'm going to say for now.
All right, let's go to MZ.
Oh, Aries.
I remember I said for now because I knew someone was going to poke the bear.
No. I just think you're still real.
Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh.
Let MZ speak.
Yeah, come on. He's going to turn
into a pumpkin in 24 minutes. So
turn to a blumpkin.
Let's hope not.
All right. Yeah, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say to Aries.
Oh, come on. I wasn't even the big problem. Come on. I want to hear it.
Oh, I was interrupted 3 times just now. No way.
Yeah, but I want to hear what you want to say. Come on.
Nope.
Pretty
Jesus
please.
Christ on a cross.
I will keep on interrupting you until you say it.
We'll go right ahead.
You just won't talk, apparently.
Looks fantastic. It's candy for the eyes. It's cocaine for the eyes. And
I feel like that would burn.
Cocaine for the eyes.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
I'm going to agree with this statement, the cocaine for the eyes thing.
The references are there. The use of the killer's actual movie from 2011 is a nice little twist. And there's a lot to like here. There's a lot to like here. Very minimal as far as nitpicking goes. Bouncing eyeballs. Okay. A bit silly. Stupid, actually. But, by the time that scene happens, we're pretty much, sunken into the film.
Can I just ask one question?
Yeah.
How much does an eyeball bounce?
A fantastic movie, really. A love letter to the Giallo. And I liked it. I appreciated it. And I can't wait to see what this guy's going to do next.
I have one quick question, MZ.
A review, because we've discussed so much about it. But so the only really last thing I could say about this is that I really enjoyed this. This is really good. This is a big treat.
MZ.
What?
What if everyone in that theater had gummy eyes?
Gummy eyes.
Or balloony gumdrops.
Yeah. I have
Gummy
gummy eyes
eyes
right here. You'll be like a delicious triclops. You can put one right here.
When I did the movie Demon's Road, there was a scene in which I ate an eyeball, and it was a gummy eyeball.
Is that the movie where you almost got hypothermia?
No. Someone did, though.
MZ, how much does an eyeball bounce?
If an eyeball could bounce wood.
Uruguay. A lot of
anywhere. How much does an eyeball bounce? You're nitpicking about an eyeball bouncing. How much does an eyeball bounce?
What's the conversion rate?
Raven Shadow, get on that.
I've never seen an eyeball bounce before, but
so how do you know it's wrong?
Flashback: Central American eyes bounce.
How do you know it's wrong if you've never seen it? I've never seen an eyeball bounce.
Actually, Kill Bill Part 2, Volume 2.
It's a movie. You've never seen a real eyeball bounce.
If we're talking about movies, then why won't you accept? Get some.
Oh man, he took the bait. You almost had it.
This is part of what I'm saying. This movie doesn't establish its rules, whether it's real or a movie.
It is a movie for sure. I know that.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie.
Next question on the docket.
The universe.
The movie establishes its own rules. If it deviates from that rule, then that's part of the rule.
I hate to say it, but I agree with MZ, and that's hurt.
The rule is they have no rules.
That could be that can qualify. Sure.
I mean, pure cinema is anarchist, right? Like, if you look at people like Refn and even like Kubrick and stuff like that, like there'll always be Lynch, there'll be stuff that doesn't, they jam the round peg into the square hole.
Okay, I'm not going to argue that point, but this movie is not that. This movie established rules and then broke those rules,
thereby creating new rules, which is
but then went back to the original rules, which you cannot establish rules and then break them.
You can't.
You cannot do that. Kubrick, Lynch, they don't establish rules.
Not for nothing, but tell that to Texas.
Yeah. All right. You know what?
Yeah. Let's continue on. I'm sorry. That was so muddled because everyone was interrupting poor little MZ. But MZ, did you give the final verdict?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I don't recall because there was so much going on in that because you kept getting interrupted.
Big surprise. No, I said this was a big treat.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Yeah. Wow, man. I mean, I don't know. So once again, we've already talked about how the movie plot or the idiot plot no longer exists, right? I do gotta say the line about there's only one door did throw me fucking off. It was almost like in G.I. Joe the movie when they threw in like Duke's gonna be okay. No, he's fucking not. He's fucking was stabbed by a fucking giant serpent. But whatever, fine. You play along with stuff. I thought it was interesting that as the survivors survived, they were better off on their own. When they became a team, they were really fucking dumb. Anybody catch any of that at all? Like individually, they were competent, but you put them together, they were like the fucking Keystone Cops.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I kind of chalked it up to that. They sort of, well, actually, that's not true too either, because I was going to blame the kid, like that they kind of had to deal with the kid.
But even to Aries' point, where like there could have been fine if there's a big fucking Giallo killer coming for you. There's still three of you. Put the fucking desks in front of the door. And it could have, and to his point, when there was a back door up fucking ladders, do it 300 style. 3 tiny people have a better chance of keeping a larger person from coming down. But once again, that's a fucking movie, and it wouldn't be Giallo, whatever the fuck.
They were also, I mean, I am certainly not being sexist here, but he wasn't a huge guy, but even if he was like my size or Aries size, like he probably weighed as much as 2 of them.
And we don't know what kind of strength he gets from his diet.
Right.
Right. Although, yeah, I mean, once again, this movie isn't my milk, but overall, I was into it. I think this was a giallo high spot. You know, what do you call it? What do you call it? Reel, like a
Hyper reel.
Yeah, a best of reel, a best of
Highlight reel.
Highlight reel. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoy this more than I thought I would. So I would give it a treat, man. Yeah.
All right.
Talking.
There you go.
Treat, yeah.
Treat for Raven Shadow. Okay. For me, big time treat. I really fucking love this movie. It was looked beautiful, had as we talked about, checked all the boxes, and it was a simple, elegant story that was told well, had good execution, and paid off big time, and had some really nice little sort of parallels that went throughout. I really liked when they talked about the film breaking and having to splice it and kind of like comparing and contrasting that with the father's issue of, of his health issues. And also just, I love the payoff of the marbles falling down the stairs and what happens later. I just thought that when I saw that happen, like I paused it and I was like, oh man, that is just so good. Like, it's a little thing, but for me, it had a huge impact. It left a big impact on me. I'm going to remember that long after I remember all the details about this movie. And for me, that makes a memorable experience, is things like that. The first kill with the couple who are making out in the theater, that's a memorable kill. I'm going to remember that. And the hook, or like the hook to pull the door down through their heads as they're making out, fucking classic. And there was a lot of that. And yes, suspension of disbelief. This is a fucking movie, and anyone could have run out of there at any time, like, found a way out. But this is a movie. This is the way it happened. I loved every second of this, and I'm super excited to see what Maximiliano does next, because he certainly has reverence for this genre, and as we talked about with all these references, he understands them and he gets it, and he referenced them beautifully to the point where it was homage and not ripoff. That can be a very delicate line to walk, as we know, and he walked it perfectly, and this came off as an homage, as a love letter to those films. So kudos to Maximiliano. This is a great flick. I think a lot of people are really going to love this. Definitely seek this out, guys. This is on VOD currently. I could see this popping up on some streaming service. It's a co-production by Bloody Disgusting and Dark Star Pictures, so I could see this popping up on something else. And also, I forget what it was now, but I saw Dark Star Pictures has a flick, and I saw that let me look it up. There was a Vinegar Syndrome was going to put out, I think, one of their flicks. This. I think it's this.
Really? Wow, that's great.
Let me just double check on that, because I was looking through some stuff, and I think that they were going to put this out. So let me just...
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, what? Let me just look it up and see. I saw that news somewhere online today. So I just want to verify, because if it's going to come out there, then fuck.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, yeah. So here it is. It's on Bloody Disgusting. Dark Star Pictures and Bloody Disgusting's gory new movie, The Last Matinee, heads to Blu-ray in October. Let's see. It says, in grand fashion, Dark Star is releasing a jam-packed special edition Blu-ray, including 3 full features. Pre-orders are set for October 1st on Vinegar Syndrome's website.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
Not only will you
I wonder if Dark Star is a partner label.
Could be. Now, not only are you going to get The Last Matinee, the movie we talked about, you're also going to get Frankenstein Day of the Beast, the film that is playing in the theater. And you're going to get Muñeco Viviente 5, Maximiliano's first feature, black comedy horror take on Puppet Master.
I think that's the film that's on the
Yeah, that was the poster in the in one of the marquees. That's fucking awesome. It's got behind the scenes, VFX backstage with VFX director, Urban Legend, The Matinee Massacre, presented by Guillermo Lockhart. A short of hobby metal short film, a bunch of other shorts that Maxie's done. Let's see, the original theme for the Last Matinee, and a bunch of storyboard kills and stuff like that. So this sounds like a pretty jam-packed little bundle
I can't
here.
wait.
That's fucking
Can
awesome.
we just talk about how Vinegar Syndrome, like no one's even coming close? Like, I buy one when I wasn't in poverty, mind you. Like, I would buy one Blu-ray from somebody else for every 5 I buy from Vinegar Syndrome. Like, they're just great.
So that's fucking great. I'm so glad that I remember. I misremembered it. I thought it was another film, but I'm so glad that I remembered that because this was just put out yesterday on Bloody Disgusting. So you'll be able to order this movie on Blu-ray. You get three films for the price of one, and you get all these other special features. So it'll be on Vinegar Syndrome starting October 1st. So fucking awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So, and if people want to wait, they could maybe wait for the huge Black Friday sale. But who knows? Maybe it'll be sold out by then. So don't wait. Jump on that shit. But cool. So there is that. All right, next week, let me get to that real quick, and then we're going to jump to some voice messages because MZ's going to turn into a pumpkin soon. Next week we have another guest. We'll be joined by old friend of the show. We haven't spoke to him in a while, but we're going to be talking to our buddy, formerly known as Tim from Korea, now known as Ghetto Tim or Tim from Canada. We're going to be joined by our buddy Tim Merrill, and Tim is going to be joining us to talk about Fantasia Film Fest. We were able to be a part of it, and also Tim was as well. So I'm looking forward to talking some Fantasia with Tim. We're going to be talking about some of the coverage of that. And also he's going to join us for a flick. And the film we're going to be talking about is a film that it's been getting a lot of buzz, or some buzz, I should say. And it's a film that was kind of a big budget film, but it just got dropped onto HBO Max. And because there's kind of a sordid tale behind this. And the name of the movie is The Empty Man. And I've heard a lot of varying thoughts about this film. And it is based on a graphic novel by Cullen Bunn, Mars.
Wow.
So there is that. And it was written and directed by David Pryor. And I'm not familiar with David. He's produced a lot. And he has a lot of director credits, especially video shorts and like documentaries and stuff like that. So pretty curious about checking this one out. It's on HBO Max. So and I think you can also get it from I don't know if it's available for rent, but you can buy it on Amazon. So this one is out there if you have HBO Max, so you can just watch it on your subscription, or otherwise you may have to purchase a digital copy of it on like Amazon or something. So we'll be checking out The Empty Man next week. We're going to be joined by Tim from Canada, Ghetto Tim, and super looking forward to that. We're going to talk about Fantasia as well. So looking forward to that one. But let's get to some voicemails before MZ turns to a fucking pumpkin. Let's hear from our buddy Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh here. Just calling in with my thoughts on this week's film, The Last Matinee. So I had not heard of this, but popping it on, it looked quite interesting. So overall, I think this film, it looks great. The camera work, the lighting, kind of the set decorating, so much of it is fantastic. And I don't know, the cast is good. At first, I thought there was some issues because I could have sworn that the opening text said it took place in the 80s, but I believe I must have read that wrong because then upon looking back, it says it takes place in 93.
93. Yep.
For some reason, I thought it said 83, so for the most part, I liked the story, but I feel that there was just something in there that was missing. I loved the setting. I loved all the film work and stuff, being a projectionist, and the discussions about that. But for some reason, the killings were the least engaging part of the film. I thought they had a good look. I liked the kind of kind of paying homage to both kind of slasher films and giallo films. But I don't know, there was just nothing that made me care about the characters beyond probably the projectionist, and care about the killings. I mean, it was entertaining, but there was nothing that really grabbed me. Overall, what really grabbed me was kind of the look of the film and the fact that it took place in the theater and so much was centered in the booth, etc. So, I don't know, it's kind of tough. I guess I would have to say Tepid Treat, because this one might grow on me more. And I think one of my usual statements is that if this pops up on a streaming service that you already have, I recommend you watch it because it's entertaining and well worth your time. But I can't necessarily recommend people go out of their way to see it. Like I said, it does have great camera work. It has good effects. It's got a couple of interesting kills. But like I said, there's just nothing behind it. And, there was one thing that really bugged me. And, Johnny, you might be able to get behind me on this one. So,
let's see.
That was not a platter booth. And so it was a 2-projector changeover, which means you gotta switch projectors and reels every 20 to 24 minutes. And that was never shown or a concern with timing when it came to her being the projectionist. I feel that it was especially not brought up because as she was not an actual trained projectionist and just walked in and said, I've seen you do this, I know what you do. The actual timing of changeovers is probably one of the hardest things to learn in that. So I don't know. Maybe they left that out for that reason, but it did kind of bug me that I was like, there's never any concern about, I gotta get up and do this. But other than that, I thought it was fun. I thought all the projection talk was fun. Oh, the other thing too is they have that scene where the film gets stuck, and you see like a clamp open on a sprocket, and those don't just open on their own. Usually if something like that happens, it's because the film is damaged and gets jammed. So I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too nitpicky now. But like I said, overall, tepid treat, and if it's on a streaming service you already pay for, you might as well watch it. Interested to hear what you guys thought of this, and I don't know. Looking forward to what's next week. So, oh wait, one more thing. Why was it called The Last Matinee if it took place at night? All right. I'll let you guys go, and can't wait to hear the show. All right? Bye.
Oh.
I can answer that last question. Because it didn't take place at night. It took place in the evening. And it was the last showing where you got the matinee price.
Oh, look at you.
Right. And it was dark because of the storm, too. So it probably looked like that.
Well, it was dark because it was winter.
Yeah. Do you guys remember when Josh liked good things? That was awesome.
The film
I
also...
think he made some very valid points.
One of the titles of the film is called Red Screening. That was one of the titles of it. I'm not going to even attempt I guess I'll try. El Marer, Morir, Marer, La Matinee would be the Uruguayan title. But Red Screening was also one of the names of the film at one point in time. So, but yeah, I think Aries is right. I think that's probably it, because you're right. It wasn't, they did talk about locking up and everything, but it was kind of lighter out when they showed up. So yeah.
And it was shift change for the projectionists.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
look
that's
at you.
Yeah, you're a fucking genius.
Guys, I'm out of here.
Wait. There was Dane wanted something happen before you go.
Yeah, I can't make it happen.
See that?
I don't have the.
Okay.
Dane posted something on the fib for you, MZ, I guess, but I don't have the fib open right now. So I'm not gonna get into it. So you can go look for it.
And I'm too tired to go fuck yourself, Dane.
Hey.
So
I'll see you guys later.
MZ essentially says go fuck yourself to all of our listeners, we'll continue on.
Yep. Fuck you guys.
I don't even work here anymore, MZ, and I'm still here.
Mara, it's good seeing you again, man.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right.
Love you.
Love you too, guys. All right.
Say it.
Bye.
Say it.
Go fuck yourself.
That's
what a
corny.
son of a bitch. He didn't say. He didn't. We can never finish the show now. He didn't say his fucking thing.
He sucks.
He sucks. All right. Well, we have a couple more voice messages.
So let's get down to brass tacks. Was he banned from the wedding or just didn't come?
He wasn't invited.
He just didn't make because of the restrictions and everything else. He did not make the final cut.
My sister was worried about that.
But there were last minute changes. There's a lot going on. There's a lot mechanically behind the scenes.
There's nothing mechanically behind the scenes. He just didn't. Jesus.
All right.
He's still here.
Well, I'm gonna keep up there frozen like that, so we can pretend he's still here. All right. So thanks, Josh, and always good to get your thoughts on the flicks. Now let's check in with Raven Shadow, with the stablemate, a tag team partner, and someone who's going to be on the next Patreon takeover, whether that's later this month or early next month. Let's hear from Double D, the Dominican Devastator.
What's up, Trick or Treat peeps? It's your boy Double D, calling in to say hello and to chime in on the movie of the week, The Last Matinee, or in its original title, Al Morir, La Matinee.
Thank you.
So anyway, I firstly wanted to thank you guys for picking a movie in which I could understand the language. I think it's like week 100 of foreign films. And, not that I'm against it, but Double D gets tired of reading subtitles every now and then. So thank you for whoever picked this movie where I could understand the language and that it wasn't in in Sanskrit or Farsi or something like that. Anyway, on to the review. This movie, it's like a homage to the Italian giallo slasher films. I think, if I remember correctly, it takes place in the 90s, 93, 94, I think it was. I can't remember. But at that time, there was a resurgence of slasher horror films at that time, Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I think it was kind of connected to that decade as well.
That's
the
very
movie in
interesting.
and of itself, I think I did enjoy it. I mean, it's about as formulaic as you can make it. There really aren't any surprises, twists, or turns, and the characters are pretty much as cookie cutter as you can get. Especially that Uruguayan version of of Jonah Hill, the dude with the glasses. You know what I'm talking about, right? So there really wasn't anything memorable about the characters, but it's just a slasher film with a lot of gore, a lot of creative deaths, and I think it set out to do what it was meant to do. So I definitely think that the people who like this movie are the lovers of that genre. I don't think this is a movie that anybody can just watch, and just see. I think it definitely appeals to a certain public. So even though I wasn't blown away by it, I think in terms of the gore, it was pretty gory, and the the death's pretty creative, and I enjoy a typical slasher film, so I think it accomplished its goal. So for me, I would have to say that it's a treat. Definitely not blown away by it, but if you're a lover of this genre, I suggest that you definitely check it out. I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts on the movie are. So can't wait to hear the show. Talk to you guys later. Double D out.
All right, Double D. Thanks for checking in, man. Good to hear from you, and I'm glad we picked a film in your native tongue that you didn't have to read any subtitles for this time. I'm surprised, actually, we haven't done more, kind of like Spanish-speaking films, because there's a lot of good ones out there, but I guess lately we just haven't really seen any come across. So
we had a good run. I feel like we did 1 to 2. The guy who did House of the Devil. Oh, not House of the Devil. He did the movie with the nitroglycerin.
Witching and Bitching.
No, not him, but him too.
Alex de Iglesias is.
What the fuck is that guy's name?
I
he
know
did he did Trodo Rope.
Yeah.
I forget the name of that movie.
House of the Devil. No, not Jodorowsky.
What was the other one? It was like Cold something or other, right?
Yeah. Cold Slaw, right.
Cold Slaw.
Yeah. Perfect. I can't remember his name.
Cold Sweat.
Cold Sweat, right. Sweat. So we did do a bunch in a row. That same guy did Rooms for Tourists, which I'd love to talk about you guys someday. But we did have a run there,
Oh, Adrian Garcia Bugliano. There you go. That's him. Yep.
And then there was a guy that made Time Crimes that was in all the anthologies.
Nacho Vigalondo, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Adrian Garcia Bugliano has done a bunch. Yeah, Here Comes the Devil. That's what it was.
Right.
He also did Cold Sweat, which we did. Night of the Wolf, or Late Phases with your dude Raven Shadow.
Which we did.
Yep. You remember that, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, respect.
With your dude Ambrose, right? Was that?
Yep. No.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of. Scherzo.
I think that was
Scherzo Diabolica was 2015. He did. I think that's one we reviewed as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I hated that.
It was the one with the girl in the schoolgirl skirt.
Yeah, kidnapping.
Yeah. I dig his stuff though. Yeah, he's a good director. I forget where we were talking about Spanish-speaking films that we've done. Yep.
I mean, I was thinking the other day, Wolfie, that it's funny how there are phases. Like, if you go back and look, I feel like, Hobo with a Shotgun and all the Astron 6 stuff all dropped at the same time. Like, we were all in on the Canadian stuff, and then, Wolf Cop, the first Wolf Cop, and then, we had that big influx of Spanish films, and then we had a good run of, like, right around the time of Low Life, we did Monster Party and, like, a whole bunch of other stuff, so... a lot of great American stuff. It's funny, the ebb and flow.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we got some more voice messages. Thanks, Double D. Good to hear from you, man, and looking forward to getting on that Patreon takeover that you're going to be hosting and programming as well. Evil Corny says, I'm giving The Last Matinee a treat. I know Wolfie's computer isn't taking email from me, so that's why he didn't send one in. You got to try again, Corny, okay? I don't have a racist computer. All right, so we heard from Double D. Now let's hear from our other dude, fucking EF. Yeah, do you guys see EF wielding that fucking shotgun the other day?
No.
On social media? Did you see that, Raven Shadow?
No.
Oh, man, you got to go look. The dude's like fucking John Wick with a shotgun. I ain't sending you shit. Go look.
EF, send it to me, bro.
No, don't send it to him.
EF, do it. Don't listen to John. He's bad for you.
He sent it. It's on Facebook. Go look.
Go look. It's anyone can see it. Raven Shadow. Just
Very
click on
public.
anyone.
Marion.
Oh my God! All right. Anyways, let's hear from the man himself. Let's hear from EF.
Hello, gentlemen. This is EF, and no, don't all of you get up at once. No, I'm just calling in to leave a voicemail, talk about a movie, last week's movie, Demonic. I posted my thoughts on it on Facebook, but for those who give a shit, you don't, but I know you guys want voicemails, so here we go. I don't want to do this. But anyway, then why are you doing it, you fucking asshole? Because he's asking.
You're the one
I'm
with the
sorry, I have
shotgun.
arguments with myself. It comes with being alone most of your time. Anyway, so I said something on Facebook to the effect of like how Neil Blomkamp made District 9, and with District 9, he lit the world on fire. Unfortunately, with Demonic, he couldn't even light a fucking Marlboro. I thought it was an average at best horror film. And it was slightly spiced up with the VR dreamscape scenes. But mostly I was underwhelmed by it. But then about halfway through, he introduces SEAL Team 666, and my interest was perked up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see where this is going."
I'm reading that book right
now. And he didn't really do much with that. Although I guess I can always hold out hope for like a crossover with SEAL Team 666 and James Woods' crew from John Carpenter's Vampires.
Yeah.
That would be all right. But,
I was saying, brother.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them in action in this movie, but I guess he didn't have the budget for that, which brings me to my other point. Get this, he thinks he's making points. I felt I watched a proof of concept reel for Blomkamp to show the big studio heads in an attempt to get the proper paints and canvas that he would need to really tell the story the way he actually wants to tell it. Which, okay, fine, but I paid to watch a movie, not a proof of concept reel, you know? But anyway, hopefully, I maybe the next one will be good. So I really have nothing else to say other than I look forward to the Monster Piece Theater shindig, I guess, this Labor Day weekend, where we're going to talk about Wolf Guy. And I look forward to making an even bigger ass of myself in a longer format than I usually do when I dare to make a voicemail. So I'm just going to end it right here. Take care and be well, gentlemen.
Don't end it. EF, always love hearing from you, man. So I appreciate you calling in and leaving us your thoughts. And he had some very quotable lines there. Yes, Raven Shadow.
First of all, I am so hard right now. It's not even funny.
Okay.
Second of all, EF trademark SEAL Team 666.
Yeah,
it's already a book. I'm reading it.
Is it really a book? Really?
I literally am. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'm like maybe 3 hours into its 12-hour running time.
Oh, is it really?
Well, you're not reading it.
Yeah, I'm listening to it. I don't know.
That's
yeah. I see the 666.
All right. Well, maybe
I like it too. It's really very good. I didn't know if
book.
I'd like it or not, but I ran out of Joe Ledger and Dresden books to read, so I was desperate for a little men's adventure.
That sounds funny. Desperate for a little men's adventure.
Yeah.
Deluxe
You like
Lodge,
movies, Dynamo?
Yeah, I do. It's awesome you guys are doing Wolf Guy. It got cock blocked by the pandemic because I'm not Johnny Wolfenstein and I could not keep all these plates in the air. But I actually, and I still may do it. We're still planning on doing it, but now the date that we picked to record the first one, it's probably not going to happen because of the pandemic. But Wolf Guy is the film that made me and my friend Jamie Hayes start we're about to start what was going to be Trick or Treat Radio's sister show named Team Tiger Curse, which you guys will understand why it's called that then. We watched Wolf Guy 3 times in 1 week.
Wow.
Because it's so ludicrous.
I've heard. I obviously I knew of that project, but I didn't realize where it came from. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's Yep, it's pretty. Like I'm anxious to hear, especially Aries talk about it.
Well, Aries probably won't be there because a lot of times he can't do the weekend shows. So
I'll have him come over and watch it with me.
he'll
hold
read
my
it.
hand.
Yeah, he'll tell you his thoughts as he cuddles you to bed.
I miss getting cuddled by Aries.
I love that MZ's still kind of here. It froze on that fucking beautiful face of his.
I'm so fucking
Oh,
tired.
so tired.
I gotta go.
We got one more voice message. This one came in last week, Raven Chat. Literally, as soon as I hit end on the show, this voicemail came in.
Snip.
So I obviously wasn't able to play it last week, but we're going to play it this week. And Raven Shadow, it's from someone we hear from periodically. He is your partner on Bomba Radio.
Stop it.
Nathan Cotton Coy Vance Duke.
Hey guys, this is Cody. I wanted to say, fashionably late as ever, congratulations on 9 years of nastiness, on your way to a decade of debauchery. Always a fun listen, always glad to see you all pop up once a week in the podcast feed, sometimes twice a week when it's time for the Patreon episode to drop. I have a little bit of stuff that's like maybe roast adjacent. Emphasis on adjacent, probably. But I have some other stuff that is a little more time sensitive. So, in the interest of not leaving the longest voicemail, I'm going to leave the roast stuff for slightly later. I'm sorry, Aries. Very, very, very slightly in the future. A near voicemail, but for the time being, stop me if you've heard this before, but I'm moving again. My wife and I have sold a house down here in Texas, and my parents just bought a house up in the far west end of Massachusetts.
Whoa.
Where we will be heading up and staying for a while. Gonna kind of regroup once we're up there.
Holy
and
shit.
Decide whether or not we want to be Massachusetts people also, or something sort of regional. But in the meantime, I would love to hear from Johnny, Raven Shadow, maybe Aries, what you guys do to keep your dogs away from ticks. I know I've heard about Raven Shadow's little tick check ritual whenever it's time to come inside. Do you use a special collar, like a special spray, anything like that? I would be glad to know about. Ours, we just got her a Lyme vaccine a couple days ago. We have a collar that I'm sure is due to be changed out. What do you guys do to keep the ticks away? Not interested in having her bit by ticks. So any help, much appreciated. Would be glad to hear from folks who've been up that way with their own dogs and dealt with this kind of thing. I hope you all have a wonderful show. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say about this movie. I'm sorry it was not on Shudder and it's on some sort of dark web rental site. Hope you all are not killed by El Chapo or something. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
So first of all, he was talking about Docra because that was last week. Raven Shadow's fucking getting up.
See you later.
Is he going to get all
know
eated
what-
so he can talk about ticks?
You know what happened here, Wolfie and Aries?
What?
Michael Raven Shadow has convinced somebody that lives somewhere else that there's like a tick apocalypse in Massachusetts.
Well, there kind of is. Aries would know.
Yeah. I mean, there are ticks.
I
but
haven't
it's
seen
not.
one yet this year.
I mean, I've only been bitten twice this year, and that's low for me.
Maybe global warming is affecting them too. I'm not going to even mention because I don't have a good enough stuff to knock on wood here, but it's been better down here. But so first off, Cody, love hearing from you, buddy, and get the fuck out of Texas right now.
Immediately.
Immediately, leave now. Just start driving right now, and
Aries,
What, Raven Shadow?
Aries, save Cody.
So okay, and so Cody is going to be in Massachusetts. Raven Shadow. I mean, come on, you gotta do the fucking the what is it, the backyard bacchanal? What do you call it again?
So wait, I mean, we had some plans. Marketing was on board. The motherfuckers didn't give a fuck anymore. But no, Cody's always welcome here at the Raven Chateau. They want to do a bridge. But no, once again, I use Simparica. They're chewable tablets, you know.
He's doing the flashback voice.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's all kinds. They stop in the back. It says they don't let them motherfuckers bite your dog. So I bought that. I also do my friends at the anti-bug. What do they call them? I don't know what the fuck they are, but they I sprayed
Exterminators.
Exterminators.
Anti-bug.
Anti-bug. They my lawn done, and I do have a little comb. Get a little comb from the Petco. You know, flip them over, put them in the sink. Wash their paws.
We don't know if Cody's dog can fit in a sink. Let's just start there, okay?
He's got to get a bigger sink then. This is how you got to do it.
Yeah.
Get one of them plastic bathtubs you get at Toys R Us. Not bathtubs, pools. The pools.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Good, perfect.
Has been environmental.
Are you a veterinarian? Because I feel like that's like some sage advice.
Thank you.
So there.
All right, and why is he flipping the dog over in a pool?
Cody is a big dog, apparently.
That's
okay,
a fun
why?
game, you know?
Why is he flipping it over in a pool?
To check the ticks.
To be fair,
why can't he do it on the
you don't have to
floor?
worry about ticks.
Because that way, when it's wet, you can kind of control them more with the comb and stuff. Yeah.
Well, ticks don't like water, first of all, so that's not a bad move. Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny. See, Aries is next saying.
Aries,
Well,
do
you
you,
didn't say fill it with water. You just said in a pool.
Johnny.
Well,
Aries, do you have
how's he
anything?
going to get out of an empty pool?
Aries, as a dog owner, do you have anything to add?
The missus and I use a topical thing, Advantex. It's topical once a month. It's very effective. If the ticks do bite the dogs, a majority of them die almost instantly. Very rarely do we find one attached to the dogs.
So I'm going on the opposite end here, Cody, and there's probably going to be some dog owners out there that are saying I'm crazy. But I've seen too much with some of the tick stuff that leads to issues with nervous system issues that I don't feel comfortable. T-Dog and I don't feel comfortable giving it to Ozzy. Not say that's everyone's choice. Everyone can make up their own mind, but I've seen too much evidence of dogs having neural issues and things like that, taking that stuff. So we use an all-natural spray called Wondercide that we spray on him, and we spray it right before he goes out on his paws, kind of like underside and everything. And then when we come back in, we that's why we do wipe him after, because he has the stuff on him, and we wipe it off after. So it's a flea and tick spray, and Wondercide, from what we have read and looked into and gotten secondhand experience from other people saying that it's the best stuff. And a lot of people use that themselves when they go into the woods. Apparently there's a lot of people use Wondercide and just to spray it on their boots or pant legs or whatever, and apparently works really well in repelling them. So that's what we use. We don't use any of the other things just because of the research we've done that just was a little bit too scary for us. So, but to each their own. Everyone should do the research. That's the big thing, and find out what's the best solution for you.
I mean, even with an indoor cat, this is the first year in a while that I haven't either found one in that front room or on Doodles. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's a concern for cats as well that are even just housebound.
Why even go outside? Stay inside.
Never go outside. So there you go, Cody. Cody asked the question. You had some advice. MZ, what do you think? I'm tired.
Yeah. I feed my dog op radishes, and the grease makes the ticks die. There's too much cholesterol in my animals.
Oh, Jesus. So there you go. Hopefully that helps, Cody. And yeah, man, let us know when you're coming up. I mean, obviously, I'm not in Massachusetts. I'm in Maryland now. But it's a drive.
Dude, come on, for real, dude. I will quit my job to hang out, brother.
Yeah, and I
quit your job just to hang out once.
I'm that fucking close. Anyway.
And by the way, I should say this to you into general, and no disrespect to anyone else, including me and Johnny and Tiny and other people who have been on the show, but Cody is the only Cult of Muscle guest that I don't skip past in my re-listen. So I really enjoy his
You
ways.
skip other guests?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to hear Kelly and Wes anymore. Let's be honest. Like,
What about yourself?
I heard all the.
What about the ones
I
that you're
skip
on?
me every time.
Oh, okay.
I skipped the one with Tiny in us. I skipped the one with all three of us. Like, I just keep going. I wanted to say the Raven Shadow. I can't remember. Shit. Oh, and Cody, I echo Raven Shadow's thing. If you want to, there's plenty of room for you to come visit, and then Raven Shadow can come stay here too with Ollie. So be nice. We'll all stay under one roof.
We'll make a fort.
One bed. Yeah, make a fort. Yep.
Definitely make a fort.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my iPad's about to die. That sound just says it's about to die, and we're done the voicemails.
All right.
So that's gonna do it. So Mars Man, I don't know, let folks know what's going on with you, if they can find you anywhere. Obviously, we do another podcast together, so
Yeah, the Force Insensitive. I'm pretty over on that show because I was on for 1 minute and people are quoting me, so like I feel like I'm the CM Punk of the Force Insensitive.
The funny thing is I don't remember that. So
yeah,
like the thing you said that was quoted.
But you can find us. It drops every Thursday late night, early morning. We record Wednesday nights.
Yep.
And we talk about sometimes in depth Star Wars adjacent things like Woodstock 99 and our bowel habits. So definitely check that out.
No. Not our bowel habits, your bowel habits.
Rocky talks quite a bit about shit, let's be honest.
All right, maybe a little bit, but not as much as you.
But I mean, there are four guys from slightly different generations that love Star Wars and have a lot of different takes and have a lot of genre knowledge in different directions. So I think for my money, I think that we're the most interesting Star Wars podcast just from the fact that, there are musicians and filmmakers and like all these other people. So you get how, a little brat named Alberto. So you get all these things that, how Star Wars informed our lives. So that's great. And I just posted in the Deadites group the first video that me and Aurora Grable made as part of you guys know her as Pantophobe, as part of our new video imprint named Turk Bedlam. It's a video for the old Deadite song "The Night to Me," and it's so head on over there and check it out. And lastly, if I may get my tin cup quickly, I have hit a financial problem and I am trying to collect some money to keep my cat fortified for the year. So if you follow me on social media of any kind or whatever else, I have a GoFundMe to help out get my cat's expensive medicine and her food, hopefully get her set up for the year, because I don't have a lot of faith that my friends in Massachusetts are going to cut the check they owe me anytime soon. So if you could...
You're not talking about Cody, you're talking about the state.
Right, no, right, yeah. He's not here yet. I'm not talking about Raven Shadow here. Or MZ. But though I did almost buy MZ a Optimus Prime My Little Pony today.
Wow.
But I realized I don't have any fucking money. So yeah, the GoFundMe is called Help My Best Friend. You know, I have PayPal and Vimeo and all that stuff. If you're not on social media, you can reach out to me in a litany of ways. If you're connected to any of these dudes, I'm on the Discord and whatever else. So I would really appreciate it, because I don't care if I end up living in a trash can outside of Aries' house. I didn't say whether or not he cares, but I just need to make sure that this little cat is 12 years old. She was with me through cancer, a divorce, a million other things, getting divorced from Raven Shadow, lots and lots of stuff that, you know, the world's dopest tag team. I literally, you guys, I'd sound like a country song if I wound down all the things that she's been in. She's been there through some great things. So I read the Rue Morgue where we were in with Doodles on my lap. So any help, I would be much obliged, because I love her very much.
Yeah. So reach out. You can find Mars on social media or look up the GoFundMe. So hopefully everything gets worked out with the state, Mars, and you get that fucking money. But there you go, Mars.
It'd be nice if it comes all at the same time, but
yeah, no shit. But it was good talking flicks with you. We normally talk Star Wars and Woodstock '99,
Yeah.
but it was good to talk flick with you, man.
I miss it. I miss it very much. We're a good tag team in that, and I really I miss you guys a lot. And the wedding really drove that home. How it made me regret not just the time that I don't hang out online, but the fact that the pandemic has taken away everybody hanging out in a room, and I was lovelorn for that time. So thank you very much for having me. Anytime you need me or I may impose, I'm only a call away, especially on weeks where I don't aren't home in time for the Star Wars show. But thank you so much. Oh, Jesus, I was at the last wrap up. Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to tell me not to come. But anyway, Aries, thank you. You're the man. Thank you, Michael Raven Shadow. I hope, I have a feeling I hope to see you very, very shortly in the near future to watch some straight edge wrestling. And I love you all, except for Corny. He can go fuck himself.
Whoa. All right,
That's
Mars.
for Rocky.
Oh, man. Crotch job. All right. Double D says, what was the name of the GoFundMe, Mars?
It's called Help My. Now I'm doubting it because I said it out loud. Not looking up. It's called Help My Best Friend, but
that's probably...
every time it's called Help My Best Friend, but my name, I think you could search by my my dark God-given name, which is just Mike Mars. So, but it's I'll put it in the, if Wolfie doesn't mind, I'll stick it in the fib.
Yeah.
It's on my page. So
go for it. Yeah. Be good to get the link. So you can post it up on the fib and
I'm almost at my goal too. So I have to say I really appreciate. I mean, granted, I started this to pay for her surgeries, but I'm very close to my initial goal. So thank you so much to everybody.
All right, well, let's go around and say goodbye, starting with MZ. Arrivederci, douchebags.
I'm so tired. I gotta go.
All right, Aries.
Yeah, that was uncanny, Wolfie. You sounded just like him.
It's like Kevin Barber.
Goodbye.
Raven Shadow.
The fast, love hard, survive.
For old time's sake, Mars, man.
Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on episode 475. And let's see, big shout out to Dark Star Pictures for hooking us up with this film. And also to everyone who sent a voice message. We got some great ones this week with Arkham Josh, with Double D, with EF, with Nathan Cotton, Coy Vance, Duke. And so we appreciate all you guys, all our patron supporters. You guys, we fucking love you. Thank you so much for letting us do this. And I played the wrong music, but the only people who can hear it are you guys on the show. Now I'm going to play the right one. All right, that's going to do it. So we will check you guys out next week. Remember, The Empty Man. We're checking that out on HBO Max, and we're going to be joined by Ghetto Tim, talk about Fantasia. See ya.